Strong.
I'm just that good. Doug, let's put that and send that to Talent Scout and Billings. It's time. It's time for us to move on.
He hasn't been in town lately, has he?
No, he hasn't been impressed.
He listened to us a couple times and said, "No, why don't you just stay right where you're at?"
Let's see. Shut it, Doug. They don't care. They went back to the hotel, opened a bottle of Weller 12-year, and did a circle jerk? That's from the Veiled Prophet?
No, they didn't. They did not. I'm sure those guys were so bummed out at each other and themselves.
Can you imagine Plowsy's voicemail to the NFL? Hey, NFL, it's me again.
I just love that.
I'm not quite for sure, but me, Mace Dog, and Reaper are heated right now. We're hopped up on gas station cakes and liters of Surge, playing Call of Duty and getting shoulder massages with my cousin, so don't bother calling back. That's some recaps. I think I got to give him a Run TMA shirt off.
Pretty good,
And it's kind of accurate. Like, I won't play the phone. I gave him a call because I did see, this was before I don't know if Twitter was a huge thing, but this is when Facebook was still really big. And so I saw one of my buddies post a Facebook post about the number you can call, and I'm like, oh, I'll give it a try. Able to get to their voicemail, and like when I get emotional, I don't know if you guys can tell, my voice gets a little bit higher. So I assumed I sounded like a 12-year-old girl, so maybe they had sympathy for me. But I did throw a couple of F words, and
I'm just never
not proud of what I said.
I'm never going to forget that Plowsy called the National Football.
I was able to get in, so that was good.
Did you expect to get some satisfaction back? Like they would say, we'll look into it, Mr. Adkins?
I think I went in there I think venting is such a great stress relief, whether you be on the golf course or just kind of venting to your wife, girlfriend, significant other. So I think I just did it because I didn't really have anyone in the room at the time to vent to and to complain to about.
Van 2.
Having the time of his life. So I just wanted to get my feelings out there to somebody, and I'm hoping at least an intern was able to hear that voicemail. That's my goal. At least one person listened to
Well,
this.
as long as you vent to a voicemail and not ruin somebody's day by screaming at someone who had nothing to do with it.
Or do it in a spot where you actually suffer ramifications for losing your crap in that one moment. You know what I mean? Those things can live forever now on social media.
At the end of the day, it is just sports and entertainment.
Agree. And if Roger Goodell happened to answer the phone, I assume I would have handled that a little differently than just talking on a voicemail. So
Hi, Raj. It's Plowsy.
Doug, you wanted to load up the phone lines with Cardinal Trivia? Well, then why don't we do it, Jack?
Clear
Oh,
them.
Lord.
855 Cub Talk.
Clear the lines, clear the lines, clear the lines!
There it is. We're giving away a couple of tickets to the Cardinals game on May 24th. It's Marcelo Zuna bobblehead night. And 855 Cub Talk Jennings gets you through, and it's a rat-a-tat-tat style delivery. Doug's demanding on it.
Yeah.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
It has to be quick, and I'm even suggesting we have more than one question. So
Can't do it.
You don't have time to look. As soon as the first guy, answers or tries to answer the question, if he misses, the second guy can Google it.
All right, it's time for the Cardinal Trivia. Doug, you want Bradley, Jeff, or Seth, or you want them all at the same time?
Maybe we should clear the lines.
No. We're not doing it.
Pull up Seth.
All right, you got
All right.
Seth, good morning.
This is Scott.
Perfect. What Cardinal had over 3,000 hits and over 900 stolen bases?
Lou Brock.
There it is, Doug.
Hard. Good Lord.
Brought the heat right there.
That was
Scott, Seth, congratulations.
Well,
Who else would have had the stolen bases?
I guess it would have
Who
taken
else could
them.
have possibly
it was a
been?
rather easy
It wasn't the
question.
toughest question. You are really overstating your
Plowsy was
town
fired up.
Neck drop, Seth.
Seth Scott, congratulations. We'll put you on hold
Thank you.
so Pete can tell you to come to the station and pick up your ticket.
Make sure he gets your name right.
Yeah.
We give tickets away really easy.
Who had 3,000 hits and 900 stolen bases?
Who wore
been anyone
number
else.
6 and his last name was Musio?
Go.
These need to be tougher. These need to be really tough. We're giving away tickets. These are expensive tickets.
Are you going to get that Ozuna bobblehead?
Yeah, I won't.
Well, sure.
It'll go to charity. I won't.
No, I know you
Yeah,
won't, but I mean, will you get it for
Oh,
the
yeah.
charity?
I go every Sunday. Home games.
Every single one.
Just Sundays now.
Do they save the Friday giveaway for you?
Yeah, they save the Friday and Saturday for me, so I just have to go on Sunday.
Oh, well, that's an inconvenience, though, probably, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You go for 2 innings until they give out the gift and then go home?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
Unless I'm in
nice.
the middle of a pretzel or something, then I'll finish it.
Do any of the other media members say anything? Or
No, they don't.
How did you even
It's
get a
only-
credential?
There's only about 8 up there.
How do you get a credential for
Is that a
that?
credential forever?
But don't you have to cover the team to get a credential?
That's the show here.
He's a producer of an award-winning radio presentation.
If there's somebody in town I want to talk to, I'll go in there and grab a few minutes.
When's the last time that happened?
Clayton Kershaw.
Really? You talked with Kershaw?
How long ago?
When they were in town last year. We talked about his foundation.
Oh, did you?
That'll always get you the interview if you want to talk about it.
Foundation, go that route.
Yeah.
No, we did. We talked about his whole foundation and what he does overseas with.
Did you talk about his experiences in St. Louis in 2013? And
I didn't really. I think the last couple minutes we talked baseball, but we dealt mostly with his foundation.
Did you air the interview at all?
I sent it to somebody. I don't know if they played
Where'd
it.
you
or not.
send it to?
It is last year, Doug. He just
He does a website.
stop.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepper and Genie Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Strode. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and I still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
Doug Vaughn here, along with the home loan expert, Ryan Kelly. Ryan, we've always known that you're the place to go for mortgage. Now we understand that you're going up into the mountains to sing, to kind of do a Hills Are Alive, Sound of Music type of thing. What in the world's going on?
Big one down in South America. I'm taking a team to climb the tallest mountain in South America, over 20,000 feet. We'll be down there for a while raising money for St. Jude. Really excited for that. Have another one coming in Colorado, raising money for Girls on the Run. And we're always looking for additional ways to raise money for other partners. Come and join us. Learn more today at keepclimbingfoundation.org.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. Ask yourself, what is my provider doing for me? Do I have to hit prompts? Do I have to deal with chatbots? Am I put on hold? Is it always a different person? Are they local? Are they proactive in the community? Do they represent the #1 provider of auto and home insurance in the U.S.? The James Carlton State Farm team is comprised of individuals right here in your neighborhood. We are out supporting our Blues, Cardinals, Bills, and Tigers. Do something new in 22 and kick the out-of-town companies to the curb. Give us a call or go online to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, the Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
Good morning, St. Louis.
Where's Tim?
I just knew that was gonna. I knew Doug's first words. It's so predictable.
Where is he?
Where's Tim?
Who's got him?
Tim's on vacation.
I thought we were doing a best of.
Oh,
This is about to be the best of TMA.
Nice.
It's just not going to be recorded. You know, it's just the best of us.
Love me some Jay Jr., but I suggested best of.
Well, thank you, Ken.
Well, that'd have been time off for
what
me.
kind of thing is that to say to our guests?
He
I
would have
said-
gotten more time off.
I said I love me some Jay Jr., but that would have been no work for me.
And no pay.
Known him since '92, Doug.
we
This
get
guy.
paid.
Have you really?
'92.
Yeah, first.
That sounds like 30 years.
First couple of guys that. Well, I just celebrated my 30-year anniversary in radio because of KSP. Me and Jay and Rammer and Clay.
John Rennie, Big Jack Rennie,
Big Jack,
Rick Wallace, Howard, Mark Eisman.
Oh, I remember
Randy
Mark
Hugh.
Eisman.
How could you forget him?
Randy Hugh,
Randy
Brian
Hugh Silver,
McKenna,
Rob Fisher.
Yeah.
Got to start there.
No doubt.
Yeah, we're all there, and we've all made it big.
Jackson, who is this hour brought to the listeners by?
It's provided by the wonderful people over at Munganess. Munganess is the official automotive dealership of the Ryan Kelly Morning After here on 105.7 HD2, live from the Michelob Ultra Studios. We got Jay Jr. in the house. He's feeling good. We love having Jay in. And we also have the Plowboy back from his little sickness. So glad to have both of you boys in the studio today. What a time to be alive here in St. Louis on a misty morning.
Plows, I didn't know that you had gotten the vid.
Yep, tested negative though, so we are all good. Did my normal 5-day protocol.
How sick were you?
I told them over here today it was just a lot of fatigue, the tiredness. I slept a ton on Friday and
Was this
Saturday.
the first time you'd had it?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, you had the vaccine, so you weren't that sick.
Double vaxxed, but nonetheless,
Doesn't matter.
It wasn't a terrible experience. It wasn't fun, though. I wouldn't highly recommend it for anybody. Madison's all back to work and back to normal as well, so...
Good. I'm glad she's well.
Yeah.
One thing we know
household is
for
just fine
sure,
now.
without question, is the vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID.
100%.
We know that 100%
You are correct.
factually.
You are correct.
And again, I'm not mad that I
But
got
the
the vaccine.
flu shot doesn't 100% prevent you from getting the flu, does it?
I don't think it does.
No.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way they can, I mean, for the most part, that they can totally eliminate it.
I don't know who said that the vaccine keeps you from getting.
Your president and Anthony Fauci.
Well, then they were both wrong.
They certainly were.
I've said I've heard from day one that it protects you from being hospitalized and dying.
No, from day one, we were told in a
Take the
speech by the
vaccine.
president, if you get the vaccine, you won't get COVID.
Well, he was
and you were
wrong.
told by Anthony Fauci that as well.
Well, he was wrong.
Both of those guys have been vaccinated. Biden 4 times, Fauci 5 times, and now they have COVID.
Yeah, I mean, when the president of when both presidents, the last 2 presidents of the United States of America get COVID, that should tell you anybody can get it.
Yeah.
And I felt bad for Doug. I want to make sure our Dougie boy, he's basically our show pony there, Jay. I want to make sure he was okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want you to have another battle with it, so I wanted to make sure that you guys were kept in the loop.
No, I didn't have a battle with COVID. I had a battle with the vaccine.
Yes, that's, yeah. Okay.
Really? You had a
But I
reaction
didn't want
to
it
the
to be a
vaccine?
COVID
That's
issue.
what did it to me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still in its infancy of knowledge of the whole thing, but it does at least appear, as somebody who's had it twice, that the second time was much easier. I mean, almost like just a lethargic thing. But I know, it affects different people and different people's
you don't know.
makeups. Yeah.
Yeah. Frank Martin, know him, the coach.
Yeah.
He said the second one almost killed him. He
Coached
said the
in
first
South
one he got through
Carolina,
it with no problem, and the second one darn near killed him. So it just affects different people different ways.
The second what?
Second go
around with it.
Oh.
Are you guys going to read a single text all week while Tim is gone? That's from Mr. Licks. Well,
Probably not.
Mission accomplished.
You just did.
Mission accomplished, Licks. Take that.
Got yours in there.
I had one of my doctors told me that they should have never given the vaccine without first having people take a blood test, because people are affected in different ways. You know, for some the vaccine's great, and for others it's a life-threatening thing.
Yeah,
Well, we're glad Plowsy's back.
no question. We're certainly glad he's not back for long.
Yeah.
He was talking about Munganast. He's got to go get his ride all spruced up because he's taking a vacay.
Yeah, a little vacay. So I felt bad because I thought I was going to be able to get back yesterday, but apparently the 5 days, like the first day you test is like day 0.
Right.
So it's technically 6, 5 days after the fact. So I thought when I was talking to Jackson, I was going to be able to be here yesterday, but that was not the case. So it ain't going to be short and sweet. Got here extra early just to make sure, check the emails. So got here about 4:45. and been working away and trying to catch up. So I
And you're wearing a
appreciate
stylish mask.
Look, I felt like I tested negative, but I don't want to give that vibe to where
It can't hurt.
So nonchalant about
Thank you,
it.
Jackson.
So I'm,
Yeah, and we appreciate you thinking about us, Plowsy, because we were sure thinking of you while you were gone.
Yeah,
you know, there were so many. The Cardinals losing 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati. We really felt your absence.
I know.
The Monday afterwards.
And then Kachuk signed with Florida. Yeah, there was a lot that happened when I was gone. And maybe I'll throw the back for the show that my hot takes are not spewed over the air.
And then you'll be out of town when they don't sign Soto or don't trade for Soto, so you'll be missing everything.
I'll give some takes if I do have any cell phone reception.
That's where I wanted to start. Other than reminding people, we do have the design email of the day. Cardinals. Am I right in saying that?
Oh,
Jackson?
yeah. Designer Heating and Cooling email of the day. The prize for the month is Cardinals tickets on August 12th.
And Brewers, I believe.
Right now, Shrimply Pibbles has 3 wins. The JV golf coach has 2, and it's very tough for me to say this. Kevin Miller.
Oh, he's had a big month.
2.
He's been ratcheting it up lately.
He was a trivia night, too.
He made them really short, and his names are really funny. I think those 2 changes that he's made to his game has stepped it up.
Mm-hmm.
If I am not allowed to or don't have the ability with much ease to watch something on a computer screen, which is primarily how I watch things now.
Really?
I don't really watch on a television at my own place. That's just
Really?
kind of,
So you sit at a desk or something and watch
I pretty much watch in my bed and just have
a laptop?
Yeah. I mean, that's
on your chest as you lie in bed.
not on my chest, on the side, on a little side table.
Little Davenport for his laptop.
I just because I'm doing different stuff and also on the computer, I just keep it on the computer primarily. I'm sure I'm missing something by not having one of these 80-inch deals. I was at my gal pal's place.
Oh.
And she's got a TV, and it's almost like it's right in front of you. I mean, it's like you could
like
touch,
it's too much.
Well, you can you almost want to touch out, you reach out and touch it.
You know why? Because nowadays, when I bought my new TV, I don't know, 9 months ago.
And you paid for it?
Yeah, I paid for this one.
Okay.
But I was
one of the neighbors move out. You help yourself to it.
But I was looking, and I saw 55 inches, $480, and I said 65-inch, $490. I mean, the higher you go, it's almost the same price.
Right.
So I got a 60-inch, and it was probably about $10 more than a 55.
Yeah, I'm sure I've got a couple of TVs, but I don't really use them. My premise is, if I don't have something accessible to me, I'm probably not going to watch it.
Right.
So you're not watching a lot of Cardinals.
So I don't see these stumbling, bumbling at times powerful Cardinals.
Plowsy watches every night.
So
I can't. I honestly try to most nights. And
they won yesterday.
They certainly did.
It was a great win, actually.
Looked like watching the team from 12
09.
years ago with Wainwright on the mound and Pujols getting a 3-run homer and 3 hits.
Yeah.
So how far behind are they of the Brewers?
There's no way to know that, Jay.
2.5 or 3?
I guess.
They're right in the
I'll
thick
check.
of things.
I think that they're
For the division.
They're 3 games out
back
in the division.
Yeah, 3 games back.
And in the wild card, they've got the 3rd wild card spot right now. Half a game ahead of the Phillies.
They were even this team.
And that's the last spot, right? The
Yeah,
third
that's
wild
the third
card.
and final
Correct,
spot.
correct.
Second in division, 3rd in the wild card spot.
Right.
Right where you want to be, Jay, the sweet spot.
Okay, so
Especially with the team we're playing, for sure.
yeah, I've heard all about the schedule and the latter part of the season and all that. I keep hearing about Soto, obviously.
Right.
Then I hear the faction that says, that don't matter, you got to have pitching.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious for you guys that follow this and get to see them play, because I don't on YouTube TV.
You don't get to see them play much at all this year?
No.
They're on TBS every now and then.
Or Apple or MLB or your mom's channel.
Nice.
That's a good channel, that mom's channel. About midnight's when it really
Haven't had
starts
any
going.
games on Doug's big channel.
No, not on Doug's big channel.
Which is a miss.
Playoff time comes around.
They're going to be on TMA STL on YouTube in about 2 months, I think. We're carrying them.
Facebook once in a while
Acquired the
they
rights.
pop up. So Plowsy, you are very animated about this team.
I think they could, with Soto, it would be a dream come true. But you can make more than one trade, and I heard this.
And who's going to pitch?
Get a pitcher, too.
Get a pitcher. You can make more than one trade. And if you want to do low-hanging fruit in terms of the pitching market, it's really bad. And I say it's bad. I mean, if you look at the free agents or potential people that you're looking to trade away to get, it's just the juice isn't worth the squeeze there. If you're gonna, bless you.
Thank you.
If you're going to trade some prospects, you might as well package them all for one really generational talent.
Now, I think what's really going to make the Cardinals make this move with Soto is they want to package Corbin in there. And the outing he had last night, I don't know why the Cardinals wouldn't jump on that.
Was it bad? He's been bad.
He went 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 6 runs, 7 hits. Yeah,
And that's at the big league level?
Indeed. Well, Jay, that's the thing, though, is he's only making $24 million this year.
That's it, just 24
But
million.
35 next year.
Right.
It's so
team-friendly
absurd.
deal.
It really is.
And I know NBA players make a ton of money.
Right.
And I know NFL guys make a ton of money, and hockey, all the athletes make a ton of money. But it's absurd. It's absurd at the baseball level.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the money that is thrown around for these guys, and
there are plenty of people complaining that the Cardinals are cheap because they probably wouldn't sign Soto to a $500 million contract.
right, yeah, $500 million.
I'd like to see what the years and numbers actually are, because the Nationals are so bad. Soto doesn't want to be there, so he's not going to be looking for 15 years. He may be looking for, somewhat similar to AAV, but he's not an idiot. And Scott Boras is not going to allow this man to sign a 15-year deal.
Yeah, a 15-year deal isn't...
It's idiotic on both parties.
Right, because what happens when baseball players start making way more money than that, and you're saddled with a 15-year deal?
Wasn't Bryce Harper represented by Boras?
Yeah, but he didn't sign a 15-year deal.
Yeah, he did.
I thought it was a 12.
13, 14.
I mean, once you get past 10,
That's not 15.
I'm not sure there's any 15-year deals out there.
Yeah,
how could you sign somebody to a 15-year
but
deal?
but Harper, I think, got 13.
I give 8-year, $320 million to Soto and just feel very confident that it's just fine.
I think one thing you would know for sure
$40 million.
is that Boros will make sure he hits the free agent market.
Yes.
That's
in 2
the thing.
years.
His
2
guys,
years.
His guys always...
Yeah,
And
you're
that's
not going to
fine.
sign early.
No.
Now, Jay, to your point earlier about baseball players and the money, the way that... And Doug, you've been watching forever, so you correct me if you think I'm wrong, but the way that contracts are set up, because you really can't make money in Major League Baseball or can't really control your own destiny until after your 6th year of service time,
Right.
you're kind of... Like these long-term deals, you're kind of paying for what they've done in the past, not necessarily what they're going to do in the future. Because at your prime, like Ronald Acuna or Tatis, who I know just signed a big deal, but
that shouldn't be the way it is, though.
right? These guys are making arbitration deals where they make 10,
From what
15,
they've done,
20
not
million.
what they're projected to do.
Right, and so by the time you've hit that 6th year where you're 25 or 26, then you're signing a 10-year deal, but you know that in 8 years you're not going to be anywhere close to where you were 2 years before you signed the deal. So it's kind of weird how baseball works, where like an NBA player can start making $30 million after the second or third NBA season, whereas baseball you have to wait 6 years until you hit free agency. It's so strange.
It changed much more now, though. You see a lot of players getting their arbitration years bought out with teams.
Right, like Tatis. But then Tatis, makes like $22 million, and Corbin's making $35 next year.
And then you got teams like what the Cubs did to Chris Bryant, where he hit like 15 home runs in spring training and still made him start the first 2 weeks in AAA to gain a year. I mean, the manipulating of service time is
it's a whole
hokey.
Different thing.
Well, you still look at what Soto's going to make the next 2 years in arbitration. I mean, he's making, what, $16 million now?
He'll make 30.
He'll make 30, and if he has another great year, it's his second year, if he's with the Cardinals, he's probably going to ask for 40, 35, 40 million as still in arbitration.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you all three this, and Jackson as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start with Plows because he gets after it as it relates to Redbirds baseball. Do you think they will make a move?
Yeah, they'll make a move. I don't think they'll make the Soto move. So I'll put like Soto at like 25%. Because there is a lot of talk.
How legit is the Soto move?
I feel like
it seems like everybody throws his name out, and we keep hearing things, and this would be the right spot.
If there's enough smoke, there's probably a little fire attack. I mean, just I don't know how much of that is true, but we do have the pieces to trade.
Doug, you think they legitimately got a shot for the guy?
And they're talking to him, apparently.
Yeah, I think they do. I saw, when I woke up this morning, checked my phone, one of the first things I saw, and darn it, I can't find it.
What is it,
now.
the Carlson?
Yeah.
That one sounds too good to be true.
The latest trade
Yepes.
proposal. I don't know if it was John Heyman or Ken Rosenthal, but it was somebody legitimate.
MLB leaks.
No, it wasn't.
Not that. No, that's where we can get a little. Yeah, that
wasn't that one. But they were saying that the Cardinals' offers now is Carlson, Gorman, and Yepes.
And you
Soto.
jump on.
Yeah, you jump all
and you
over
take
that.
Corbin with that, honestly, and just throw him in AAA and make him 24 minutes. If that's the deal, you take it almost immediately. There's no way that's possible.
But now the Nationals GM is saying that Corbin does not have to be part of the deal because they don't want anything to lessen the value of Soto.
They can have Mason Wynn in that package then. We'll add him if you want to minus.
Well, what if they just want those three? You're still going to give him Mason
There's
Wynn?
no way that's the package. There's no way. I mean,
To
if
be
I'm-
honest, anything that keeps Jordan Walker on the team and you get Soto, is pretty much a win. I think.
Yeah, because they could be your corner outfielder.
Well, just getting Soto would have to be the
I agree.
giant
I
win.
agree. Yeah, I agree. But I think.
I don't care who you give up.
Well, yeah,
Give up
I
Mo
agree.
at this point. I mean,
yeah, I would package Mo and
He's going to include himself in the
Gersh.
Can we? I'll put Fredbird in the
peanut
package.
salesman.
Get
Yeah.
Fredbird in there.
Cardinal Cowboy.
in his boat.
Well,
No, I think I
the
agree.
only cautionary tale is that there haven't been a whole lot of these enormous contracts, assuming they could get Soto to resign, that have worked out well. Right now, Harper's on the shelf. Trout has got some back injury that.
Well, Harper
they're
won the
worried about
MVP
his
last
future.
year. Am I correct?
He's got what?
Didn't Harper win or get in top 3 of the MVP last year?
Oh yeah, they'll have a few good years. Yeah, but you may be paying 8 or 9 years at $35-40 million where they're not much good to you. You might.
But it's rare that a guy would sign that big contract at age 24 or 25.
Correct.
You know, was Harper when he signed his 27? I mean, that's a much big difference. But, I mean, look at Paul Goldschmidt, who I know is an outlier, but at almost 35 years old is still producing as well as he's ever done. And that would be like the 8th or 9th year of Soto's deal.
Iggy, do you think this organization will make a move that will be impactful toward the rest of the year?
Impactful, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they get Soto. Yeah. I'm just going by track record. I mean, they're hesitant to give up prospects for some reason.
They gave up prospects for Arenado and for Goldschmidt.
Yeah, but I don't think they weren't there. They weren't there 1 and 3 and 6. What you're talking about now, you know, Alcantara turned out to be great. Really wish you didn't trade him. Yeah. But the other ones, they've kind of fleeced them. We all laughed at the moves they made with Colorado.
We did think that was a steal.
Yeah.
So
the Arizona one was worse almost.
Yeah. So I don't see them giving up 3 or 4 of their top prospects to get Soto. Now they'll probably go out and get some kind of pitching. Whether it's they go out and they get Noah Syndergaard or Frankie Manis, is it from Oakland? Manis from Oakland. Those guys.
Frankie.
Frank Frangie.
Go get Frankie.
Ned Bohm is out there.
Yeah. So I mean, I
Johnny
think
Johnson.
I think they'll get a pitcher, but it's not going to be Soto. I don't believe. And Doug, let me ask you this real quick. Sorry, Jay.
No, go.
Would you be willing to give up the 3 that they named if you knew you only had them for 2.5 years? If you knew, okay, well, they're not going to sign.
So,
they're not going to sign him long term, but we'll get him for 2.5 years.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I do too.
You never know with the prospects.
Well, they're going to keep drafting people. And Randy Flores has done a heck of a job drafting. He's the draft guru and the assistant general manager. His track record has really been very good here the last few years.
And Peter Gammons, I do believe it's him.
He's still alive.
He was coordinating with some other writers about top 10 trades and how it worked out. And I think that it was certainly MVP caliber talent that was being traded. And the article basically read, dude, none of those prospects panned out hardly at all to what the player ended up doing on the team. Mm-hmm. Now, individually, certainly, when you talk about title, division, those vary. Certainly those big-name players ask for a big chunk of your payroll, but nobody remembers the prospects for the most part. I think we put Jordan Walker on a pedestal like we did Alex Reyes 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's an absolute crapshoot, and Randy Flores is a guru. If you need pitching, if you need a bat, they have first-round picks every year. You can replenish that farm system. You can't get a Juan Soto. So if you want to overpay, just remember those sweet deals for Arenado and Goldschmidt. The fact that you gave up a Luke Weaver, a Gomber, a Carson Kelly,
miss those guys.
for those guys, and had Colorado pay the $40+ million for Arenado last year.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You have every right to pay just a little more, and if that's the asking price, I would do that asking price for a half season of Soto if a man World Series title.
Those trades for Arenado and Goldschmidt are another reason to say Mozeliak knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
That is true.
100% don't disagree, but I think you also look at it as, okay, maybe we can give Mason Wynn and Walker in the deal just because having those three guys. And Goldschmidt, if you want to pay him again at 39, which you may have to because he's playing so well, you're still going to have to give that dude probably $25 million a year for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
39.
You and I could have made that deal.
How do you know that?
Oh, the Arenado one? Let's get lunch.
Yeah. If they threw that at you, you could have made that deal. No, we're giving up too much. We can't give up those guys. Yeah, you'd have jumped on it. My point is that they don't have a tendency to give up big-time prospects, unless you thought Brett Wallace was a huge prospect at third base
Well, he
back
was
in the
at
day.
the time.
They were acting like he was.
Yep.
Welcome to prospect world.
The thing is with some of them, they might actually have more value in the minor leagues, tearing it up, than after they come to the major leagues for a month or two and look like just another guy.
Right, we saw that with Gorman.
Their
We were going nuts on Gorman. And then it comes
their
off.
value might be the highest it can be at the AAA level.
Because we all project him to be all-star talents. Look, he's hitting 340 and he's got 20 home runs.
Why is he not up here?
Got to be the best player that we're ever going to see since Musial.
And I don't know where I read this at because it doesn't matter. It just looks like they're giving everybody away. But Washington really doesn't have a shortstop. So I'd read where part of the deal they're looking for a major league ready shortstop. Maybe DeYoung tearing it up in AAA. Maybe they throw that into the deal, and maybe don't have to give up Gorman.
I don't think they want a veteran making $7 million a year, though.
No, they would much rather. I think they'd much rather have Mason win because they're in dead last in all of baseball. This season's a wash.
Well, I know Tim has talked about this aspect, and the feeling, not of all Cardinal Nation, but I think of a lot of loyal Cardinal fans who've enjoyed the run of success that this team has had over the last, 25 years, that they may be a little disappointed if nothing is done here. Now, I don't think that's going to turn fannies away from the seats.
Don't say fannies.
No, as long as they're still in the race, it's not going to.
Yeah, but in the race for the division, in a bad division.
Well, the fans don't care as long as they're close to the division or a playoff rate. They'll still go out and play.
Well, they'll still go out and watch. I agree with you, but there are going to be people that become more skeptical if there's not something done. That's why I tend to believe they'll do something to try and bolster the pitching.
Oh, I think they will.
Well, they will. No,
I think they will.
Whether it's low-hanging fruit or fruit that you're kicking around while you walk, or if they go out and they make a trade and they try to get a Syndergaard or...
So how do you think Cardinal fans are going to feel on August 3rd?
Oh, they're going to be pissed.
I think we're going to have a brand new toy. I think Juan Soto will be coming.
You do?
Yeah.
I'd be really disappointed if they had to give up like a Walker or a Win for a pitching package.
I don't
like
think they would do that.
The A's, like I don't know, that A's
Speaking of
package
prospect
with
boy.
Murphy and Frankie, that package would have had like Libator, Win, and another player. If that's the asking price for mid-level talent, then just go all in for a generational type guy.
Yeah,
if you're overpaying for middle-of-the-pack innings eaters to sneak into the second wild card, then you might as well just not be buyers at the deadline if you're going to overpay for things like that.
Those are precious guys, though. Those starting pitchers that can get you 5 or 6 innings. And if you think you're going to go anywhere in the playoffs, you better have more than just Wainwright and Miles Mikolas.
Don't disagree, but if that's the only
Who
move
else
you're
do
making,
they have other than
Right
those
now,
two?
it's Mikolas and Waino, and then not so bueno.
It's Dakota Hudson, Palante.
Who?
Right.
Andre Palante.
Andre Palante.
Dre Palante.
Yeah.
Dre Palante. Dak. Doug calls him Dak.
Dak Hudson.
Dak Hudson.
Yeah.
Dakota.
Yeah.
This is the Munganass 7 o'clock hour. Plowsy, can I hear a little bit about the fine folks over there at Munganass? They take such good care of us over there.
Of course.
Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota, the official automotive provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast, the company that we work with and we are proud to recommend to our audience. At this point now, you've heard me talk about Jamie Burkhardt. You've heard me talk about Clayton Patterson. You've heard me talk about Peter Munganast. And we talk about them because we know them personally, and we want to send you to them so you can have the best car buying or leasing experience possible. Or you just need to get your car repaired or maintained. And you're like, well, I didn't get my car from there. Doesn't matter. They'll still take care of you. Go to stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com or email me at tmckernan@insidestl.com, and I will connect you with Jamie Burkhardt, the general manager, and now you will be experiencing the difference that we have been experiencing on TMA and the Tim McKernan Show now for a few years. It's Munganast online at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com. It's Munganast, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota.
And with all the terrible weather that we've had recently with the flooding and all that, I'm sure a lot of people's basements are in trouble. And if that's the case, Matt Ford, Brett Groman over at Stratum Structural Systems. Please, I can hear a little bit about Stratum.
All right, hit the
When the weather gets hot in St. Louis, people can have issues with their foundation, and that's where Stratum Structural Systems comes into play. The company I have worked with, Matt Ford, Brett Groman, and their incredible staff took great care of me, and that is why I recommend them to you. Their number is 314-620-8153 or online at stratumrepair.com. And here's the thing, they're local. So think local, think Stratum. They're in Chesterfield, Missouri, and they are in Columbia, Illinois. And it's not only foundation repair, it's also waterproofing. So if you are dealing with water in your basement, make sure you go to stratumrepair.com and you talk with Matt Ford and Brett Groman. Let them know you're a TMA listener. You get $100 off your repair project when you call 314-620-8153. It's Stratum Structural Systems for foundation repair and for waterproofing. It's Stratum. Think local. Think Stratum. 314-620-8153 or go online at stratumrepair.com.
So let's head to the Engineer Design Facilities text inbox. Let's hear what the people have to say.
That's right, Jackson.
I want to hear what the people have to say. Some of the audience members are critical. Alcantaria is so good. You can't argue. You pepper and jelly. This team is so unbelievably dumb, and they win every argument. That comes from Mud Fingies.
Mud Fingies.
Can any respond to Fingies?
Well, I think I said Alcantara. What did he say? I said
Alcantaria.
Well, it wasn't even close to what I said, dumbass.
I think he pronounces it Alcantara.
Yeah, I think he pronounces it with more of a Spanish accent, and so
Alcantara.
Nice.
That sounded a little Italian.
I think Alcantara or Alcantara, either way.
Well, I pronounced it right, so go ahead. What's next?
Iggy, you can't get back from break on time. How do you think you could make an MLB trade? That's from the retired Air Marshal.
I've cut the brakes on him.
I could get back if I wanted to. But it would be like a minute and a half break.
Made the break small.
But the rest of us have to.
You still smoke.
Well, you don't go anywhere. You just sit there.
Our second
because
break,
the breaks are short.
Our second break, not this one coming up, but our second one is a minute 10.
Well, you guys will be ready to rock
A minute
and
10?
roll.
Yeah.
A minute 10.
We have a minute-long break?
A minute 10,
Jackson will be bringing that one
You
back.
control it. Just play something.
That's not how we roll, bud.
Can someone sing karaoke for 3 minutes during break?
Nobody here. Maybe we could get somebody to come in.
We got the Warblers.
That's the time to knock some live spots out after the break.
This is, I don't know.
Critical?
Yeah. Really? Question mark. One freaking text has been read. You guys aren't interesting without Tim and the text.
Shut up, you punk.
Get him off this
Listen to another station. I probably knew your mom back in the day. At some place, it's probably one of these young little guys that, well, Timmy's the coolest.
Read my text. Read my text. I criticized someone and you didn't read it.
Just send my text in on my way to my job at Mobile. Not that there's anything wrong with Mobile.
No, especially Mobile on the Run, because we get, 60-cent sodas.
Oh, yeah, today you sure do. But the guy out there, I think you could probably see him in the parking lot since it's nice out today. Little Tommy Trippin says, I love these days when the patients run the asylum. We've got our very own fantasy baseball front office in here, spearheaded by Pepper and Gene.
Yeah, I mean, we all wish Tim could work 365 days of the year. but he can't.
Nobody misses Tim more than me.
Well, that's true.
Jesus.
That's very true.
So if you will read text whenever Jackson feels like reading text.
Yeah, we're all
that's
good.
what we're going to do.
Here's a great one. Manchild79 says, "Sup, Jay?"
Yeah, no, that's my dog right there.
Right. The people are on our side. Don't listen to these.
Oh, they just want to get their name read, or
They're these ne'er-do-wells. They don't know what they're talking about.
You know, that hasn't changed from like day one.
But that was callers back then. Remember that?
But there used to be when I bowled in.
I bowled.
When I bowled in the St. Louis Classic League at Crossroads.
Yes.
Everyone remembers.
Back in the paper, they had the aggregate section.
Hi, Jackie.
Where they would put all kinds of things in there. Yeah. But they would put the Classic League scores. If you shot 600, your name went in the paper.
Well, sure it did.
And people would like get into the 10th frame, and they would actually say, if I spare and get 8, my name's going to be in the paper tomorrow. People love that. People love to hear their name read on the text line. They love to hear your name read on the show. They love to see their name in the paper.
Yep. It was a big deal.
So nothing's changed. People love that, so no big deal.
Not much in the paper today these
No.
days.
Hey, Zaddy, let me know if you're trying to hook up while you're in the big city. That's from It's Kathy.
Now, my name was in the paper almost every week.
Of course yours was, because you were such a superstar.
Could you
Brentwood Eaglet.
read that again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hey, Zaddy, let me know if you're trying to hook up while you're in the big city. That's from It's Kathy.
Is that you, Jay? Are you Hey Zaddy?
I don't know who Zaddy is.
Well, I think Zaddy is another term for daddy, and I think you've...
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. I'm not that advanced.
You've come from the little city to the big city today.
Yeah, I definitely came from the little city. I thought about it today as I drove on Olive from getting off at 270 to where you drive from that point to here. It is bigger than the city I live in. Basically.
Oh, really? Just that
No, it's, I mean...
Close to it,
I would say potentially Commerce.
We're in Creve Coeur. That's probably bigger than Sullivan.
Yeah, it's bigger than Sullivan. Sullivan is 7,001. Technically, I'm an Oak Grover.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Grover.
That's the ritzy side of Sullivan?
That's certainly the ritzy side.
The Shaker Heights of Sullivan.
Are you closer to... I think I know the answer because I would make that
now,
trip.
be careful because I'm not real good with direction.
But I would make that trip to Springfield and home almost every weekend. You're closer to Rolla than you are to St. Louis, aren't you?
Barely. Not by much.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be 40 to Rolla, 45 here. I mean, maybe 35 Rolla, 45 here. It's almost about the midway point.
Yeah. Rolla's almost exactly 100 miles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always consider Rolla about halfway to Springfield.
Ooh, a lady's texting in and says, "Hi, Jay, can you rate my feet if I send in a pic?" That's from Bill's wife.
Oh, well, that'd be a nice treat.
That's a dumb question.
Because, of course,
absolutely.
you could.
And, of course, it's a stock Google image, right? When you type in feet, it's the first one.
I don't believe that all the time.
Jay, who's like the Rolls Royce of celebrity feet? Like, who has the best foot?
I used to like that Julie Bowen.
Oh, from Modern Family?
Modern Family.
Yeah.
She's strong. But the one that's been, I think, the gold standard for so many years is Katie Couric.
Oh. Katie Couric.
Yeah, gold standard.
And you never really tell because of the interviews.
Well, I mean, she's on WikiFeet.
I know she showed her colon once in a well-publicized colonoscopy.
Right.
Doug, let's get you to do that.
The feet or the colonoscopy?
Well, I think they
both.
They probably look similar.
At the same time. What about Suzanne Summers? I feel like she would have great feet.
And she did.
No, she's not dead.
She's alive.
Buns of Steel
If Gammons
or
is
something.
alive, she's alive.
Yeah, Peter Gammons. That is a
taking
name.
shots at Peter.
How old's look up how old Gammons is.
Anyone want to take a guess?
I'm going to say
89.
I'll say Red Grange, 77.
83.
82.
Wow, Jay Jr., 77 years young.
Red Grange. Yep.
But he looks every bit of 90.
Yeah, he does.
I mean,
he's not aged real well.
It's really bad.
Some do.
Yeah, some do age
You know,
well.
Christy McVie she just turned 79. Christy McVie from Fleetwood Mac.
79.
And she still looks pretty good.
How old's your buddy Nix?
72, I think.
You think at 72 Nick still gets after it?
I don't know. I mean, she's only been married once for like 2 months.
Define get after it. What are we talking here?
Have sex.
I think she kind of keeps to herself these days.
What do you think? So she's even par, 72.
Oh, yeah, she definitely bangs. Why wouldn't she? She's super successful. She's
74.
beautiful.
She's
Why
74.
wouldn't she?
She's 74.
No, I don't think
Two
she,
over
I don't
par.
think she does. I don't think she does.
You think she shut it down?
I just think she just likes keeping to herself.
How would you possibly know?
I'm just guessing. She has her nice
we're
house
dying
in
on a
Cali.
vine
She
here.
likes just going on the road. When she's on the road, she hangs out, writes music.
But you don't think she bangs?
I don't think she has people over to the house and she has dates and
I
she
think
has
you're
sex.
jealous because you brushed up against her once.
You were so close.
Yeah, it wasn't a brush up. She asked me to feel her boobs.
She didn't.
And the time Marilyn Monroe basically was begging for it.
I could have, yeah.
Speaking of which, you guys seen the pictures of Ana de Armas as Marilyn Monroe for that new movie she's doing?
Tony Armas, the old Oakland A's outfielder?
Those pipes he had.
Ana de Armas.
Giorgio Armani.
Ana de Armas.
Tell us about AD.
No.
Oh,
she
she's
is gorgeous.
I mean,
I
she was.
think I've seen her.
Yeah, she was dating Ben Affleck before he got back with J-Lo, but she's doing a biopic of Marilyn Monroe and
Cuban Spanish actor. Why would a Cuban Spanish actress play Marilyn Monroe?
well, Jimmy Cahn's Jewish and played an Italian gangster.
Yeah.
A little different.
What about the one guy from Chicago and he's in a Jesus movie?
Edward G. Robinson.
Chicago's my town, see?
That's a perfect.
Edward G. Robinson.
John Wayne played the guy that was standing underneath the cross when Christ was crucified in The Greatest Story Ever Told. No, he had one line in the entire movie, and it was the same. He sounds in a Western. He truly was the Son of God. I mean, you thought he was in a Western. That was his only line, and it was like, God, he was like a cowboy.
Yeah, I don't think John Wayne had much of a dialect coach back in the late 50s.
Well, 50 years from now, will they talk like they talk about John Wayne with anybody today?
They won't know. No one will know who he is.
No, I'm
A lot
talking
of kids
about
wouldn't know
from
who he
this
is
era.
now.
From this
Oh,
era.
no. This is the worst era of acting, comedic actors, and comedians that the world has ever seen.
What? Wow.
What's your basis for that?
Down on the country,
The
down on
500
everything.
Marvel movies that are out in
Right,
theaters.
that's fair, but those are the
50
biggest actors in the
remakes,
world.
The docu-series, the documentaries, nothing is original. There's no superstar cast of
I'm with
any
you on
kind.
that.
I mean, comedians, you don't even want to go near comedians anymore because they're about to be canceled, everybody.
Right.
I went to go see John Mulaney last week.
I mean,
love
look
John
at-
Mulaney.
look at the-
John Mulaney?
Oh,
Okay.
he's great.
He's
He's
really
great.
funny.
It's all past me
But
by.
look at like the early 2000s banger comedies with like Adam Sandler. You had Waterboy and all that. You had,
Right.
I mean, there was 50 to 100
Well, that's the
comedic
market
actors
changing.
and comedians.
The market
and-
changed. Superhero movies print money, so they make
Yes,
superheroes.
so there is really no real actors. It's who
Boy,
can
it
get super
does
buff.
seem like every other movie is DC or
Yeah,
Marvel.
and I like it and I respect it, but that doesn't mean I have to respect that that's actually acting because
with
it
you,
really
Bud.
isn't. It's CGI about 95%
I'm
of
with
it.
you there, Blasey.
Well, I think
but
what the difference is, Jackson, is that, I never saw Babe Ruth play. But to me, Babe Ruth is the greatest player of all time. Even kids today know who Babe Ruth is.
You weren't that far from Ruth.
50 years from now, people will still be talking about Babe Ruth, and I don't think they'll be saying Albert Pujols' greatest player. They'll be talking about Babe Ruth.
Right, because he's romanticized.
Because back in the day, you didn't have newspapers
Right, I heard
like
you saying.
9,000. You didn't have the internet.
They had newspapers.
You had
They had all kinds
I
of
said
newspapers.
not 9,000 newspapers. You had like one in every city.
No, that's wrong. A city like New York would have had 7 or 8 newspapers covering Babe Ruth. Papers were everywhere.
Back in the 20s?
Yes.
That was it. That was
Papers
all you
were
had.
Everywhere.
I'm not sure they had 7 newspapers.
Oh, yeah.
They had a lot of
They had a lot of
in New York.
newspapers.
All right, the
There
fact
was like 5 in L.A.
No, your point is right. It has become overload. It has become everywhere you are. If you want to, you can be associated with whatever celebrity, whatever athlete, whatever fantasy. I mean, we're at the point now where we're already picking and choosing what we want, and we didn't have that before. We had 5 things that you could watch. I mean, and you if it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you'd watch either the news, or you'd watch Leave It to Beaver reruns, or the
Gilligan's
options were
Island.
there.
That's why everyone can sing the Gilligan's Island song
Right.
because that was the only thing on.
And
One
you didn't
game
get
a week was on TV.
Yeah. You didn't get to see them. They weren't pushed down your throat.
I mean, think
like
about
Britney
that.
Spears. How many times do you see Britney Spears today on Instagram dancing with her boobs pop out?
Right.
Doug, how many times have you seen that?
I've not ever seen it.
I mean, just get an OnlyFans and be over with it, because I know what you want to do. But then we talked about Marilyn Monroe. You only saw her in movies. You didn't get to see her on the internet every day, and because you'd only fantasize about Marilyn Monroe. But then you see all these actresses every day. I think you're more drawn to people that you really didn't get to know a lot about. When we saw our first black and white picture of Babe Ruth hitting a home run, like, oh my God, look at that! Nobody saw that before. Now you see it, You can turn on anything and you can watch any baseball game you want. I just think the players from back then, the actresses from back then, actors, they were more fantasized about than they are now.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Romanticized. The past is always going to be romanticized.
Sorry.
Like, watch like a John Wayne movie, and not to no offense to anybody, but John Wayne isn't like a great actor. He's just in everything because he was a star and he brought people out to the theater. Like, watch a Daniel Day-Lewis's best performance versus John Wayne, and it's night and day. But you romanticize older things like that, like Marilyn Monroe, or like Star Wars is romanticized in a big way. And I think that's part of it. Same thing with Babe Ruth.
I was thinking, you mentioned Star Wars. And I saw it 7 times when it came out.
Right.
I've never seen one yet.
And
what they've done to Star Wars has completely ruined the franchise.
Whoa,
Jay, they've ruined it.
Wait a minute.
I want to hear what Jay has to say about it.
Yeah.
Did you watch Obi-Wan, the series?
I can't get into series of Star Wars.
What did you think?
I liked it.
I thought it was very entertaining.
But here, Jay, here's my always thing on Star Wars is I don't think it, like, the first one, like, it's fun to watch, but, like, Mark Hamill's terrible. Like, it's just not, like, incredible movie. It's just fun to watch. So I just will go to every Star Wars movie.
You got to understand, Jackson.
Right.
77.
Oh, it blew up the world.
We'd never seen anything like that.
Right.
I mean, I guess you'd had 2000 Space Odyssey and Leonard Nimoy with the pointy ears and a couple of other things.
Mm-hmm.
But it wrapped a story into this. I mean, I guess it's also timing when you're born or when you see something and what you think about it. I mean,
right.
I mean, Star Wars from 77 to 83 was everything.
Right. It was, and I mean, Empire Strikes Back is actually very good. But I just think, like, people, well, the Star Wars, like, super fans, that makes me a little uncomfortable when they're, like, critical.
I'm fine with that, but this is a money grab.
Of course it's a money grab. Disney bought them.
But it's insane. Like, to me, Star Wars is movies. It's not watching season 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It just isn't. It just is
now,
weird.
I will say this.
I don't like it. I didn't say I was thrilled with the first 3 trilogy of the 2000s. And
I don't disagree with that.
Phantom Menace is rough.
At least there were movies. I cannot get behind Mandalorian season 4 and Obi-Wan's going to have season 15.
No,
they're going to ruin the traditional. They're going to ruin the traditional movies by trying to bang out 50 sub-series of characters, and it's just going to be really bad.
God, I love having Blasey back. Let's head to the EDF text inbox because it's lighting up, to be honest with you.
Wonderful.
First of all, and Birthday Hawk sends in a great one here. How about a quote, Slugga? We're talking about.
How about a quote, Slugger? Well, I'll try to hit one for you today, Billy.
Manupal eligible asks in 50 years I'll talk about W. Earl Brown the same way we talk about John Wayne.
He was in Mandalorian. I think he played the bartender.
Yeah. I did when I watched this series. I was like, oh my God, there's W. Earl Brown. I love someone having a take saying something is terrible but never watched it. Jesus, that's from the Ill-Sider.
Well, I watched The Mandalorian. I'm saying all those.
Obi-Wan was not bad.
I love.
It entertained me.
I love Ewan McGregor. I think he's outstanding.
He's a fantastic.
And the kid was good.
Give me a movie. Yes. Give me a creative movie, not the.
But I'll tell you what, Lousy, if you watch
in a series,
if you could almost watch once the series was out. It as almost like a movie, a little longer movie, but
that's how content's going now.
No question,
It's all either a limited series or a prestige TV series because you can get so much more character development and you can build on storylines so much when you have 10 hours in a 10-episode series than a 2.5-hour movie.
Look at The Sopranos as opposed to The Godfather.
Right,
correct. Like imagine you got maybe all totaled maybe 8-9 hours worth of movies and between the 3 of them.
Yeah.
And with Sopranos, who knows?
75 hours of TV. But like you could turn The Godfather very easily in like the first movie into a 10-episode series.
Correct.
Like you could have 2 episodes on the wedding alone. Like, and it would be, trust me, I'd be all in for that.
I'm just all nostalgic when it comes to Star Wars because that was my whole thing.
And I think that's what a lot of people are. They're very nostalgic about it because, to what Jay was saying, no one had ever seen anything like it. People saw it. Jay, how many times did you see it?
I saw it 7 that summer. 7 times.
Right. Exactly.
And how?
About 5 of them at the Westport Theater.
Oh, did you sneak in or actually pay?
No, I paid.
Did you?
Well, Senior had money. Well, until he started losing the track.
Deadwood was what, 2 seasons?
Deadwood
Yes.
2 seasons of the movie. 2 in the movie.
Yeah.
You sure it wasn't 3?
I thought it was 2.
All right.
I think it's 2.
And
My dad will text me here.
W.O. Brown said they were expecting a season 3.
They were.
And they were stunned when there was no season 3.
No, there were 3 seasons. There
Really?
were 3 seasons, yeah.
Really?
I thought
only
there was.
2. All right, but let's just say David Milch, because he wrote the movie too. 3 seasons of writing that, and I think each season was either 10 or 12 episodes. And then he has to sit down and write an hour-and-a-half movie.
Right.
And tie everything up. I just don't get how people do that. How they can, okay, well, I got to come up with 13 episodes, an hour long of content. Now I got to come up with and end 3 seasons in 1 movie in an hour and a half. Right. To me, that would be so hard.
They did a decent job. I mean, it was okay.
I didn't like it the first time I saw it. I thought it was stupid. And then I watched it again the second time, and I said, that's really not bad.
Yeah. Someone asked, there's a lot of great films out right now. They aren't just advertised like superhero movies, everything everywhere all at once. Nope. Cha-Cha Real Smooth, just some examples. I saw Nope yesterday, which
I heard it's really good.
That's the Peeled movie?
That's Jordan Peele's new movie, and it's outstanding.
He is so good at directing movies like that. Man, he has got a gift.
He is out.
And that's the Key and Peele guy?
Yes, Jordan Peele is one half.
What's that movie about?
It's it's an alien movie. It's essentially like Jaws meets Alien, but it's all takes place on this ranch in California. It's fantastic.
Jaws meets Aliens.
Is it a shark on a ranch?
No, it's not a shark. It's an alien.
Kind of that, yeah.
Jaws is the style where it builds a lot of suspense.
Oh.
It's a thriller. It's really, really good. I'd highly suggest checking it out.
Did you see it at a theater?
Of course, baby.
I love going to theaters,
baby.
man.
Don't say baby like you're cool. Don't say that.
Good for you, Jackson. The theater is where it's at.
But it's like a big. It's a spectacle movie. Its sound design is incredible. So you want to see it in a theater.
Ken, last time you went to a picture at a theater?
Ooh, I'm interested in hearing this.
Well, I had to go.
Shallow Hal.
I want to go. What was the last Rocky movie?
Creed 2.
Rocky 10.
Creed 2.
Yeah, where his kid lost again, finished second or something.
Creed 2. Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, Creed's
Speaking of whoring out a franchise.
They're bleeding that thing.
The Creed movies are good. I like both Creeds.
Well, at the time I was doing a show with Stully.
Talk of the town, too.
Ryan Stully.
Yeah, and Stully. Stully had tickets that we were bringing listeners to watch, so I went to that. But before that, the last movie I went to, where I actually went on my own, was Star is Born. I went and saw it with my niece.
That Star is Born
Judy
with,
Garland?
Not with Chris Christopher.
No,
Lady Gaga.
Okay. Yeah, before that, Endless Love with Brooke Shields.
Yeah,
Damn, you don't go to theaters that much.
No, I don't.
I used to go all the time and never go now. Never go.
We went to Elvis a few weeks ago.
How good was that?
Bad.
See, this is where I disagree. But I can't disagree that there were some bad parts to it.
Jackson's the only one I've heard.
Jackson said it was bad.
I thought it was outstanding.
It was. I thought it was brutal.
No, I thought it was great.
You were the only person I've heard say something bad.
Yeah.
The only thing I've heard is too long, but everybody I've heard said it's great.
Yeah, it's very good.
What did you not like about it, Jackson?
Baz Luhrmann made it, and if you've seen any of his other movies, they're very stylistic, where it's all flair and everything. Tom Hanks' accent in it is it's the first movie I've seen Tom Hanks be bad in.
Yeah, Tom Hanks is rough.
He play Elvis?
No, he plays Colonel Parker. And I didn't think any other characters beside Elvis and Colonel Parker were ever developed. I never felt any emotion for any of them. It was like a highlight reel of Elvis's life, and at the end, it was 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I felt I learned nothing about Elvis.
Wow.
That's just me personally. Like,
if you're a big Elvis fan going into it, you'll love it. But if you want a biography, it's not the movie.
And
did you know going in why Elvis didn't tour internationally?
Right. Yes. Yeah. I thought that there were some good pieces in there. I thought Austin Butler was great, but there was no character development. We learned nothing about his wife or his kid. We learned his mother. That was a good part of it, but that got out after an hour. They skipped years like crazy. Personally, biopics are tough for me because you either cover too much in not enough time, or cover one thing too much in way too much time.
You're thinking way too much.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna try to cover a guy's life who was this larger than life figure, you gotta develop some characters or something. And plus, the only song we heard for the first hour, Doug, was Hound Dog. I feel like.
Don't you think it's hard, though, when you're doing a biopic, don't you think it's hard to cover a guy's life?
Right, yes.
That everybody knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
something
like people
new,
my
everybody
age
knows
don't know.
Elvis. Oh, yeah, I bet even your age, you've read about Elvis. You know almost everything about Elvis.
And the fact that everybody knows what he looks like.
Yeah.
So you're looking at the actor and you go, that's not Elvis.
Right.
Until right at the end, they kind of faded out the real Elvis in.
And brought him in.
Yeah.
Butler was good, though. Austin Butler was very good.
Yeah, he was.
That I'll say was very. I felt it. Anytime you got into a scene, you got hit over the head with that Tom Hanks accent voiceover, which was brutal to me.
It was really bad.
I didn't like that, but
Elvis Presley.
I thought it was very good. I would recommend it.
It's one thing if the guy.
I would like to hear from some of the texters, letting us know thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, good or bad.
On Elvis.
Who cares what they think?
Now, Ken, because I was a little surprised to hear Jackson not like it that much, but
I was a fan, Jay.
Dougie liked it.
Yes,
so
I liked it a lot.
Listen, I'm a proponent of see it for yourself. Don't listen to other people. Like, if you want to go see something, don't let like reviews or other people's opinions sway it, because only you can tell if you like a movie, because it's all subjective. I personally just didn't like it. Now, we got a couple texts here. Mudfingies, who was critical earlier today, said 3 or 4 this morning. We've had sniffles, lies, and gaga. Sit tight, gentlemen. Here comes a Learn reference.
Oh, we'll wait till the second hour.
Yeah, we keep that for sure.
She's right behind me, so you can say hi to her.
Will Plowscale and Egbert do a breakdown of House of Dragon akin to their Game of Thrones Samuel Talty takes?
Yeah, as soon as it starts.
When is that coming out?
August 28th, I think.
I can't wait.
And that's a post?
Or pre.
I think 100 or 200 years before Game of Thrones.
I think even longer than that. I think it's way before.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong, but it's like none of the characters from the original series
are involved.
Yeah, it's mainly about the dragons. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Plowsy and I'll break that down on Pepper and Genie every Monday.
Oh, hell yeah.
Pepper and Genie is a daily production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll do one today.
Remind them, Jackson, who this 7 o'clock hour sponsor has been before Iggy and I go smoke.
All right. This hour has been brought to you by the fine folks over at Munganess before we head over to do our appliance discounters 8 o'clock hour. Plowsy, if I could hear about our wonderful text line sponsor, that's Engineered Design Facilities.
Here you go, Dougie.
All right.
Engineered Design Facilities Fire Division is now testing, inspecting, and maintaining the fire system on all commercial kitchen and restaurant hoods. If you have visibility to your company or place of business's commercial fire alarm panel and system, please email fire@edf-rg.com, and they will have a technician come out and provide a free evaluation of your system and offer the most competitive contract pricing in the market. You can also check them out anytime at www.edf-rg.com. The official commercial fire alarm services and solutions provider of TMA. EDF is Missouri and Illinois preferred full-service vendor for licensed and certified professional servicing, monitoring, and testing for fire alarm services and systems, fire suppression systems, fire alarm system monitoring services, tenant improvements and construction, security access and monitoring services. It's Engineered Design Facilities. Check them out at edf-rg.com. Engineered Design Facilities.
I see that Jay Jr. and Iggy have both vacated the studio.
Laughed.
I guess.
So
Wild West, Doug.
while the boys are away, the mice will do business. Plaza, can you tell me about the fine folks over at Rankin?
Oh, of course. And, Jay and Iggy can show you, it's not all about a 4-year university, Doug. Not everybody cut out.
This is where you wind up
to
if you don't
start
go.
and finish. If we can't start and finish a segment, it'd be tough to start and finish a year of school. And now there's an alternative to a 4-year university, Doug. It's Rankin Technical College.
What do you learn there?
And since 1907, they've been graduating thousands of hardworking pros in the fields like automotive, electrical, manufacturing, carpentry, and IT, all of which I have zero experience doing.
Yeah.
And I wish I had a background in doing that. Now you can.
I'd like to be a carpenter.
You can do that. Go to Rankin Tech. They're still up for the fall semester here. There are 3 locations, St. Louis, Perryville, and Wentzville. And it's real hands-on training. From day one, you're treated like a pro, not just a student. And they graduate 97% of their graduates land a job in St. Louis. Boeing and AB, a huge contributing to programs like this. Get yourself a skill, a trade. It's half the cost of a traditional university. 80% of the students have found financial aid attached to that. It's quick, it's easy, it's a skill that you're going to use for 20, 30, 40, 50 plus years. You can pass it down to your kids. You know, there's pensions and benefits and unions that you can be established in with some of these careers. So go to Rankin Tech, go to rankin.edu. That's ranken.edu. Apply today, and I assure you there is alternatives. Do not, fool yourself into thinking a four-year university is the only route to go to.
No. I would very much enjoy learning carpentry skills. Build a treehouse, maybe.
I see my dad do it, and I'm like, wow, I am terrible.
He's good at that stuff?
Oh, 100%. He's great with his hands.
Before we head to break here, I'm just going to read this final text here.
Great.
From the Warson Woods Wacko. Virgin, you are an idiot. Elvis is an American icon, and the Elvis movie is an awesome flick. You need to spend some time in Memphis not watching the NBA and visit Graceland. Memphis is a cradle of music and some of the greatest artists ever. Stop being so dumb, virgin boy.
And here's
I've been to Graceland, so fun facts.
If you need to go to Graceland and entrench yourself with Elvis just to like the movie, maybe the movie isn't for everybody. I liked it, but I can tell why people get annoyed at the Tom Hanks character.
I was going to go to Graceland when I was in Memphis, and I saw the tour was like $50 a piece, and I totaled it up with $250 to walk to that house. I don't think so.
Doug, you ever had that Elvis sandwich? Was it like peanut butter, banana, and...
Oh, I get it at Gramophone, baby.
Bacon? I think bacon?
No, bacon.
Oh. Yeah.
They have it at the Gramophone. It is phenomenal.
There at the end, Elvis ate a lot of sandwiches.
Yeah, he gained about 70 pounds in like 2 months.
Doug, when they had that last shot of him with like the real video of him singing, the flop sweat coming off of his brow.
What a shame. He was so big that nobody could tell him no. If he wanted it, including drugs, nobody would stand up and say, no, you're not doing that. And we've seen other people that big. It happened to Michael Jackson.
Yep.
It's happened to other people who
Whitney
are
Houston.
larger-than-life people who don't live in reality like the rest of us. They don't have anybody to get them in line.
Yeah, and Doug, I've heard you before, why these huge superstars mess with drugs when they have the world by the tail, essentially. But I feel like part of it just comes from, like, that rush you probably felt, like the first time Elvis performed in front of a sold-out crowd when everyone was singing along with his songs. Like, that's a high you can never achieve again. And so just like a drug addict's first hit of a drug, like they're forever chasing that high. And once the music industry or whatever industry they're in can't get them there anymore, they turn to drugs because it's so accessible and they know that they can feel like that rush again.
I don't know. I don't think that's it. Because those guys, Michael Jackson, Elvis, they had the fans right up until their death.
No doubt.
And every rock star gets that, I'm sure. Gets that same rush.
But eventually that high that they first got dulls. Like it doesn't feel the same as that first time they do it. And that indescribable feeling isn't there anymore, so they chase it. And that's what drug addicts talk about all the time, is like that chasing that first high again.
Elvis made a lot of females quiver for the first time. That's a lot of pressure.
I always find that interesting. I find that very interesting
but
part
don't you
of it.
see, think a lot of big-time rock stars do that? And they don't all die of drug use in their early 40s.
Right. And it's not, obviously, this isn't like a unilateral thing that I'm talking about here. I just feel like part of that psychosis of it all is that, like, once you're so famous, like, you have the world by the tail. Everything's accessible. And to what you were saying, Doug, like, who's going to tell Elvis Presley, no, you can't have this. No, you can't do that. No, this, that, or the third. Like, eventually you just become like too powerful, and your own decision, like you have no help essentially. It's what do they say? It's lonely at the top.
I guess, but you see a guy like Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr.
Sure.
Certainly they were just as big as stars, and they've managed to maintain somewhat normal lives into their 80s now.
Yeah.
They never went off the deep edge.
Paul McCartney, man, he's so cool. I love Paul McCartney.
Worth like a half a billy,
yeah,
kind of
he's
hanging
the man.
out, chilling.
All right, let's take a break. Appliance Discounters, 8 o'clock up next. That closes at the Munganast St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota. 7 o'clock hour, we'll be back with the Appliance Discounters. 8 o'clock hour, live from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Check out listener rewards on the new TMA mobile app. Watch the show live on the TMA studio cams. Find it at TMASTL.com. Get the podcast on the TMA app. Download it now.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Hey, it's Jackson for Rosalita's TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled-high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 7, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Doug Vaughn here, along with the home loan expert, Ryan Kelly, who's always doing things faster than the next guy. Do you always have to do it fast?
I do. Your first or your last, right? Ricky Bobby?
Yeah, something like that.
Pretty fast. In fact, I'm really fast at closing loans. And I'm pretty excited. And
just how fast are you, Philip?
10 days.
Well, that's fast. That's quick.
Yeah, man. Think about that. The HomeLoanExpert.com, we're really excited to announce and roll out our 10-day closing guarantee. 10 days, we will get you to the closing table. So think about that. If you're out there trying to buy a home, you know how competitive that is. You need every advantage you can get. How about when you write that offer, you tell the seller you can close in 10 days or less? That's a good place to start. Gives you a leg up on that competition. Or how about if you're thinking about a cash-out refinance? Probably our most popular loan right now. A lot of uncertainty in the world. Everything costs a lot of money. Cash-out refinance is the way to go there. We can have you closed by the end of the month. Our average client received over $54,000 with that cash-out refi. How much can you get? Let's find out today. Got questions? Ready to get pre-approved? TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. Ask yourself, what is my provider doing for me? Do I have to hit prompts? Do I have to deal with chatbots? Am I put on hold? Is it always a different person? Are they local? Are they proactive in the community? Do they represent the #1 provider of auto and home insurance in the U.S.? The James Carlton State Farm team is comprised of individuals right here in your neighborhood. We are out supporting our Blues, Cardinals, Bills, and Tigers. Do something new in 22 and kick the out-of-town companies to the curb. Give us a call or go online to carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After
on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Ooh, yeah. Letting this one breathe.
That's a gentleman there. This is a lady.
You sure it's a lady?
Well, it certainly sounds like it. I don't know what the pronouns are.
Oh, here it is.
Is that Etta James?
That was a trivia question. Is it son or soon, make love with
I think
me?
it's son.
Oh, welcome back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
What is this?
The Communards.
That's the Nards,
What is
I'm
this?
sorry.
The Nards.
Jimmy Smotherville.
Somerville.
Apologize.
Let's stick with Smotherville. This is the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from the Michelob Ultra Studios. Today we got TMA, we got Design Air Heating Cooling. Email of the day coming up at about 9:45. Pepper and Jeannie to follow the show.
Nice.
I'll be joining you boys. after the program. Looking forward to getting after it there. No balloon party on 101 ESPN.
What do they do in that situation?
I'm glad you asked, Jay, because I was going to say Randy and Michelle are doing an extra hour. So thank you very much to Randy Character, and Michelle Smallman, and Matt Rocchio down the hall for doing an extra hour down there. I think they have Danny Mac on, so tune in to them after our show. And so that's what's going on, and that'll be the case while Tim is on vacation. There'll be no balloon party. I heard some people clamoring yesterday for me to host it by myself.
I think that'd be great.
I think that would go extremely poorly. As poorly as one could go, because I mean, in the NBA offseason, I only have so many hoop takes I can get off my chest before.
It would be an all NBA hour.
That'd be a little Mizzou.
Yeah, we talk a little dance skates, which is Mizzou hoops now. Cleveland State West is the new team.
If you're going to copy any program, Cleveland State's the one.
Right. That's the blueprint you want.
Was Elijah on Jim Rome?
Eli Drinkwitz was. We have the audio from that. I was going to get into it in this hour, Jay. So you and I are on the same page.
Okay, so I saw
Elijah. I had to double take. I didn't know who you were talking about for a second.
Well, that's his name, isn't it?
Elia would technically be, but he goes by Eli.
Elia. Not Elijah.
No, Eliah, but he goes by Eli.
I understand he goes by Eli. So it was posted on the fan page, and it looked like he was getting beaten up a little bit about some of it. Can you explain?
Plowsy was on there?
Well, I think
didn't even hear it.
The audio will tell, but he took some shots at the Tennessee Volunteers at Old Rocky Top because they're currently under investigation, and some wins might be vacated.
Oh my!
And so,
how can you cheat nowadays?
Yeah, how can you get caught?
You're allowed to just
pay the players.
Yeah. They're not paying them enough.
I think
I saw yesterday everybody at Texas Tech, 85 scholarship players, and the top walk-ons all get $25,000 a year
from the NLI collective. Correct.
They all get 25 dimes.
Yeah.
Right. From the NIL collective at Texas Tech.
Wouldn't you have liked to have had that at age 19, 20 years old? Here's your check for 25 G's.
I still have some eligibility left.
Can they touch that money immediately?
Sure.
I'm sure they
it's only for scholarship players, but
I understand.
This is for walk-ons too at Texas Tech.
I read there was only scholarship. Oh, okay, preferred walk-ons.
There's no way they got 85 scholarship players.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of walk-ons on college.
Plus 85 plus the walk-ons.
There's 85 scholarships?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Football prints money. So let's fire up this audio of Eli Drinkwitz on the Jim Rome show talking about the Tennessee Volunteers.
I thought you were going to introduce my record, but with the latest allegations against Tennessee, let's hold up on what my record is because I expected to vacate some wins, and that's going to help my record a little bit. Okay?
Oh, man, this is getting better. This is getting so much better. Can I ask you, I wasn't necessarily going to go there, but you would be the beneficiary of that. Since you brought it up, can I get your reaction to the latest allegations against Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I got to question my wife's commitment to winning. You know, I mean, I don't know how much she's committed if she's not engaging in some of these things. I didn't know that was fair play. So, we got to, it was a little bit surprising to see the in-depth nature of what was going on there. But I am sure glad that Tennessee was taking some ownership of it, and we'll see what the results are. But it's pretty interesting for sure.
My man, if I were you, I'd walk off right now, and then you can go down as the best guest ever.
Really?
I love Jim Rome, by the way.
What was Tennessee doing?
So they're alleged to.
What was the wife doing?
I was interested about that portion of it as well.
NCAA has charged the Tennessee Volunteers with 18 Level 1 violations, including payments of more than $60,000 in cash and other benefits for more than 24 recruits over a 3-year period beginning in 2018.
What about the wife?
I don't know about the wife. I don't know what that situation.
I mean, Eli.
Oh, well, part of it, I think his wife, Casey, paid $15K for rent and car payments for a Tennessee player, and his mother, under NCAA rules, Casey Pruitt, Jeremy Pruitt's wife, is considered a Tennessee booster. So when he said, I got to question my wife's commitment to winning,
you think
because she's not paying.
At some point, we'll get to the place where you can just do anything.
Well, yeah.
Just pay them whatever. Recruiting, once they're there, whatever. Just pay, pay what you want to pay. We're close to it now.
Well, and we've been there for a while.
They've been doing it for a while.
Correct, and there's been no regulation.
Right.
You wonder if how instituting quote-unquote regulation is going to stop the $60,000 cash payment at Tennessee or the payment at Cincinnati or wherever. It doesn't matter.
It's illegal to give him any money while you're recruiting him. And as soon as he says, yes, I'll go to your school, now you can give him however much money you want to give him.
And when you say give him however much money you want to give him, could you give a freshman $200,000?
Dude, there are guys getting millions.
The quarterback at Alabama had $1 million before he'd ever played a game.
The quarterback for Tennessee, he's a 5-star going to Tennessee this year. He has a $4 million NIL deal. $4 million. And he hasn't
Who is regulating this?
Nobody. It's legal.
I know it's legal, but
they shouldn't regulate it.
Well, after Miami, there was a Miami booster who was dishing out a lot. Since they're putting new rules in place about how the NIL collectives work and what kind of money be given and the guidelines to when they can pay players and how much.
I mean, seriously, why
they're trying to regulate it? But I mean, it's just the NCAA.
I mean, if there's no real limit, why wouldn't Kroenke be paying $1 million to every basketball player on the
He's too cheap.
Tigers?
He doesn't care. He's too cheap. That'd be money that he wouldn't be getting.
You know, I think it was a wise move to try and create some form of payment, but without necessarily regulation and the ability to spend what you want. I mean, that's even in a sense different than the pros because they got salary caps.
I like it because it evens the playing field.
What do you mean it evens the
it
playing
does the
field?
100% does.
How does Missouri compete against Notre Dame?
Because of money. Who cares about what your name brand is as a university? If you're a booster that can pay kids $100,000, $200,000 a year, that kid ain't going to go there, whether it be for just money's sake as opposed to actually picking the university. That's besides the point. Now more teams are at play, more university. Texas Tech is an afterthought, but now maybe four-star recruits are looking. I can probably make $150,000, $200,000 there, as opposed to $100,000
who's paying people
somewhere
that
else.
kind of money to go to those the lesser schools? I think it's the big.
But he's
schools.
right though. If you've got a booster at a school that invented a rivet that he sold a company for $600 million.
Yeah, and why
wouldn't he spend?
What low-level schools you talk about? Colgate? Well, they're never going to compete. It doesn't matter. So in terms of
Colgate's
if you're looking to help out the Jacksonville states and things like that, no, this will never. That will never. There's no there's no amount of money that will be able to save programs like that and compete with Alabama's. But you're talking Texas Tech, that second, third tier style team that can now pay players. It absolutely evens the playing field much more.
Can Tennessee go the route of, let's say, a lot of people are getting out of jail for marijuana charges because now you can buy it almost everywhere legally?
Yes.
Does Tennessee say, wait a minute, it may have happened in 2018, but I mean, everybody's paying everybody now.
Nope. They've tried that, and there's been other schools who have. Memphis had a similar deal with paying Hardaway. But no, if you violated the rules before that they were changed, you have to.
But Jackson,
I don't say it's right, but that's how they're.
I'm going to ask you this question.
Sure.
If the University of Missouri Booster Club or a specific booster wanted to pay the 5 starting players on the Missouri Tiger basketball team $100,000 a year, could they do that?
Yes.
I believe so with the NIL collective. Yeah. There's certain red tape you have to get around, but I believe in a lot of cases, I mean, if any business wanted to say, hey, do this commercial for me, and they pay them however much, that's between them and the business.
Kids with like Lamborghini and Aston Martin deals, like that are like sponsored by their local Lamborghini dealership and driving around campus and like
in the
$450,000 vehicle.
But if you're at a school that doesn't happen to have one of those boosters, what chance do you have?
You have no chance regardless,
right,
Doug. With or without the boot, you have no chance.
Each Power 5 school is going to have a decent boosters.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
you're
some
talking
might.
about a lot of money throwing it around.
Sure.
But there are 129 teams at the Division I level. Scholarship limit per team, 85. You were right, Doug. 85.
Yeah. Didn't Luther Burden start a podcast where he's got sponsors?
He's got a clothing
to do that?
LB3.
Line, yeah, that's what a lot of Illinois players have right now.
You know, we actually have a NCAA rules expert on the phone lines, on the Steve Schmidt-Key of North County phone lines. We have Mr. Licks. So let's hear from Mr. Licks.
Oh, nice.
Lixie.
What is it, Lick?
Hey guys, I'm enjoying the show without Tim. You guys are doing great.
No, we're not.
Hard to do.
When did TMA become such a friggin' sports-centric show, though?
Well, it used to almost all be sports.
You guys have spent the first hour and a half talking Soto and now NIL money.
We talked movies for 30 minutes last segment.
Yeah, I couldn't listen to that either.
Well, what do you want us to talk about?
It's funny. I tell a story the other day, and I got ridiculed by Licks for spending too much time talking about a story of mine that wasn't sports. So we can't make you happy, can we?
Did you guys see Kevin Na's Instagram Live last night?
All right, put him down. Okay, put him down.
Now he
Put him down.
He bashed us for talking sports, and now he wants to talk Kevin Na.
Yeah, they're a Saudi back.
What did Kevin Na do?
What did Kevin? I don't know.
We don't
How many people are keeping close
Keeping
tabs
track
on
of Kevin Na.
See, Bubba Watson went to the
Yes.
Dude, they're
Great. Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
But the McCord and Flaherty thing is interesting. Nonetheless, at least they have a team.
Did McCord go too?
Did
McCord? No, he didn't.
Is it not official? It has
Oh,
its
he
like
said he
third
wants to.
meeting.
He wants to. They haven't made an offer.
He says he wants to be in the clown
Okay.
car with Barkley and Flaherty.
And Barkley said
It's good for it, the clown car, because it's a clown show.
And Barkley said that Liv has until Greg Norman has until this afternoon when he gets off the golf course in New Jersey to give him an offer.
So they can't pay him enough money. Also, he said.
Yeah, if they're looking for, you can't pay Barkley $100 million. I realize you're handing money out. Like
They
it's
can
candy.
when you make $1 billion a day.
But logically, you got to at some point pump the brakes on a couple of these guys. Kevin Na got $30 million. Bubba Watson get $50 million. I don't think you can put $100 million into Charles Barkley, although very entertaining. I just don't think you can do that.
What if these Saudi billionaires decide that they want to?
They're trillionaires.
What if they want to decide a basketball league and they start paying all the NBA players to go over, or a hockey league? Or
They've already jumped into the soccer
or
fray.
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
they could potentially change all of the professional sports.
And I agree with you there, Doug, but the only difference there is golfers are independent contractors. They don't have
That is
contracts. NBA players or NFL or MLB players all have contracts that they would have to break, and that would be...
Or just when they expire.
Right,
NFL
right.
contracts, most of them are pretty short.
Right, NFL would certainly be one, but the good luck going up against the NFL.
And then you got the
It's a powerful entity.
Football's a hard secondary sport. But I think the NBA, you could actually probably do that, but you would have to pay guys $500 million.
Well, the guys coming out of college.
They already make pretty close to that, so you'd have to entice them even more, so that would be getting way too out of the realm.
They could tell the top players who are in college right now, why don't you leave Kentucky or UCLA
Here,
or wherever
$30
you're
million.
playing, and we'll give you $30 million right now. We're starting our own league.
I could see that.
They'd leave immediately.
Recruiting would be fun then.
I mean, but I agree with you, Doug, but...
It's a dangerous...
John Wall's making $50 million this year. Damon Lillard's going to make $60 million in 3 years. Like, it's these guys make a ton of money, and they get to play at home, and they play, and there's a lot more. I don't know. It's
Well, the superstars will stay just as they are in golf right
but
now.
you need the
The
superstars.
current superstars are staying in golf right now.
Yeah.
And yet
outside
they're
of
still-
Brooksy and Bryson and DJ, those are some stars.
Yeah,
those
a
are stars.
couple.
It's leaning towards...
Boring as hell.
But they're working on that.
I like Brooks.
What is Fowler waiting for? Why isn't he going?
I don't know.
I mean, if he didn't finish 125,
See,
he
again,
has no status next year.
he's in that category of these guys that seemingly can have one or two good tournaments a year, but maybe have lost the consistency. Look like a Brooks with the injuries.
They would give Fowler $50 million to go over there because he's a name.
He's a personality.
Yeah.
What's going to be interesting is they announced the schedule for next year. And I don't want to get too much into the thing because I see people beating up you guys when you talk about it.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, it's where you...
So they haven't announced they're going to increase the number of tournaments to 14. The number of players and exempt players that they want to have is 48. Now, the hope would be that all 48 would play in each of the 14. I don't know that that will happen. So they may have 55 exempt players. Now, what's going to start happening is when they get to that, 39, 40 category, and their spots become limited, Will it be easier or harder to get guys to jump? I don't know. I felt like a couple of key people for them would be Hideki and Cam, because in a sense, you get the Far East and you get Australia. You give yourself a little bit of a TV hold there, too. They have no TV contract. They have no sponsors. They don't give anything to charity. It's clearly a money grab by the players. There's no history. This theory of growing the game.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
shut up
that's
about
the
that.
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's just a business move. Yeah.
So you know, I think the people that care about the history, the tradition of the game, will win out when it's all said and done. However, the waters have already gotten rocky. I mean, it is a golf civil war we are in right now.
Yeah.
And only the first couple, Fort Sumter has happened, and the first couple of shots have been fair, but there's a long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they're, and you saw where Sergio backtracked about resigning.
Yeah, because Rahm spoke, and this pissed me off a little bit about Johnny Rahm. I'm a big John Rahm guy. I loved his comments at the U.S. Open. Rahm says, well, it wouldn't be a Ryder Cup without Sergio. My bull crap, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, and Sergio still thinks
Sergio is a punk.
They all want to play in the Ryder Cup, so they want their cake, as I think Tiger said. They want their cake and eat it too. You made your choice. You want to go over there and take the
President's Cup, no Ryder Cup.
Yeah,
and
no majors. I hope Augusta National says, if you're over there playing, you're not playing, because I don't.
But there is going to be another mansion and a huge yacht somewhere.
What? There's no question.
Yeah, the PGA Tour and Monahan backed themselves into a corner, and if Liv is gone in 2 years, then what's the harm? But you can't mend any relationships if Liv gets out of control to where they get another 5 or 6 or 7 key guys. You can't have the PGA Tour half the season be like what you've seen the last couple weeks with the 3M. Those fields, Jay, are so bad. And if you get more weeks of that, certainly in the majors, and the players, you're going to see the top people. And you get what the British Open
They got to be careful.
Phenomenal.
They got to be careful.
But it's a couple years away from being a huge problem for the PGA.
They got to rework their schedule. They'll probably be their secondary tour will become a little bigger, I would think.
That's the key.
And there'll be a smaller level at the highest level, so there's more money amongst those guys because money is clearly an issue. But my hope is that it doesn't. I don't want it to affect the history and tradition of the game. And you could say, oh, that's a bunch of junk or this and that. That's just my feeling. Other people, I understand they want a different style of golf or a different type of golf coverage. I just go with what I've known, I guess.
Live Tour will never have the kind of tradition that will lead someone to write a song where they can sing about the Legion of Cat's Army. No. The wooden shafted legend of Doug Vaughn.
No, it's already
wooden shafted legend. That's always.
It all finds.
It's already tarnished. Phil Mickelson's done. He had a stellar career.
I think he was
loved by so many people, and he's done.
I think he was a top 10 player. I really do. I think a top 10 all-time player. When you look at maybe I shouldn't read this into it. Phil was the best junior golfer in the world. He was the best amateur golfer in the world. And he was ready to be the best professional golfer in the world. He'd won 4 times in 1996. And then
Tiger came
Hello
along.
World.
Yeah.
Right.
And it changed him.
But to be fair, Phil Mickelson got a ton of love at the U.S. Open when everyone thought he was going to get booed and stuff.
He has a
He's
lot.
still,
He has
he's
a wide
still,
fan base.
But the image and the perception at the highest level, what the players, what the players he played with now think. And you know what? Phil might not give a rat's ass. He could care less.
He doesn't care about legacy, obviously, and some guys do. That's why they're not going to go. Jackson, you're right, he got love, but legacy comes from your playing competitors, the people you play it against.
At the highest level.
Yeah, not so much the fans. He's always going to be adored by the fans. They don't give a crap where he plays.
But like Liv, it just takes a Cam Smith, Cam Young, Hideki, and then maybe a Spieth in there, and you are really in some trouble if you're the PGA.
You pretty much got it. You
Right.
pretty much got it surrounded
with
at
those
that point.
4, because I don't know, Spieth is he's not out there like JT and McElroy.
No. You would need one of
shooting
those
it
guys, I
down.
think.
You need a couple of those. I don't think you're ever going to get JT or Rory. I think those two are glued. Or Morikawa.
No, I don't think Morikawa will do it.
How about the bastard Seb Straka?
Seb might go.
They got Korkorak.
Yeah, Hovland will probably go.
Yeah.
He was a great
I
player.
think Hideki's done.
Dick Bland.
He's already out there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, Rich Bland, Dick Bland.
Cam Smith.
Nagel said he'd go.
Why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't any of them?
Cam
Throwing millions
Smith
around.
is huge kid.
Now, we brought up yesterday, Jay.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, obviously, they're not going for Champions Tour players. But why wouldn't they go after a guy like John Daly? And maybe they have, and we just haven't heard. But, I know he's, 50-something, but he's still a big draw.
Well, he said he wants to go.
Oh, he would be amazing. And they play 80% of their tournaments right now in America. So, it's not
Well, and
a huge
again, it's
inconvenience for him,
14 rather than probably 20 to 25 tournaments. Right. Yeah, JD would be. It would be part of the sideshow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe they get JD and his kid, and they can be paired with Brooks and his brother.
I like his kid.
Oh,
his kid. I think he's funny.
Yeah.
Little Chris Nagel update for everybody right now. Through, believe, 2 holes. Chris Nagel is 1 under par out there at the Rocket Mortgage.
I know some of the listeners and some of the people on the fan page understand how difficult or how really incredible what Nagel has done in July is.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically unheard of. I mean, what the run that he has been on with the Monday qualifiers, and still, for the most part, playing pretty darn good in the tournaments.
Damn good.
And Golf Digest has over 1 million followers on Twitter. Did that article about Nagel. I thought it was really cool.
He did a hit on Golf Channel. Like a 10-minute hit on Golf Channel, on Tuesday. Yeah, it was great. He did a great job. He's awesome.
He's really good.
And it's great to see a great guy like that, St. Louis and with Wellington, have so much success. And you're right, Jay, to qualify on Monday, the stress and all that.
It's hard for you to believe.
With no caddy. He doesn't bring a caddy out there ever.
He didn't play a practice round before Monday.
Right, for a number of them, because he's,
Well, Wellington was a caddy.
He doesn't do Monday qualifiers. He said Chris liked to just do his own thing on Mondays.
Really?
Yep, and then
he's hitting the hinge circuit really hard.
Oh, yeah.
The hinge circuit.
That's right.
It's like
hinge
Tinder
and Tinder,
Bumble.
yeah.
What does that tell
He's
you?
reported back to us what he's found in some of these other cities.
Is Hinge
He said Tahoe.
dating
app?
Yeah, he said Tahoe was.
Jay, if you had a dating app back in your prime.
I had the discussion with my gal pal last night. She said it would have been disgusting. It'd have been absurd.
Now, let me ask you. This will go back to Welly, and he'll know I'm just kidding. But that's the question. Nagel is Monday qualifying 4 times in July, carrying his own bag. Once Welly gets on the bag, they're missing cuts.
Well,
it's also the.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah, you're going to lose that.
That's a terrible take.
You're going to lose that bet.
I'm just kidding. You know that.
I mean, I think that
Welly is good for him on the bag. I mean, it's not like he's giving him the yardage.
I kind of like the idea on the approach Chris takes on the Monday qualifiers.
Yeah.
It's just me. I got to do this today on a Monday. I got to play the best I can. I know I've got to be going for flags. I've got to shoot 5, 6, 7 under. You know that. I mean, you pretty much know that. And I think his approach is, I'm not, there's no need to mess with a caddy. There's no need to, do too much. I'm going to go out and play golf, and that's what he's been doing.
Would you really want to carry your clubs if you're trying to shoot the best score possible?
You'd have a small bag.
He's got a pod bag.
He's still got the 14 clubs, though.
That's a pod bag. He's got
the 14 clubs.
And a whole bunch of balls in case he shanks 10 of them into the water.
Right?
He'll be all right. He's a healthy man.
7 what?
I know, but he's
you
also
can only carry 7 balls in a round of golf.
No. What are you talking about?
On the PGA Tour, isn't that the rule?
No, you could have 500 in your bag.
You could legit have
Jay
500
Williamson
bags.
ran out.
JW's caddy started throwing him in the water.
We knew a guy that his caddy quit on Blasey, and he started taking balls out of his bag.
Dude, I thought for sure you could only have like a minimum of 7.
No.
Because they're hardly losing anyways. I mean.
Well, but here's what they do. They replace the ball. They don't do it quite as much as they used to.
Yeah, I heard Jack Nicklaus say once that he would never play the same ball back-to-back holes because he thought after he hit his drive
it would
that
alter
the ball wouldn't quite be perfectly round anymore.
Well,
and hard, he'd wait till it came back to form. I don't know if that's still the case.
With those golf balls, probably at that level, there might have been a little difference. But, I mean, again, I can remember.
Pro flights.
Yeah, or the Pro V, the Bellata, the Tour Bellatas. I mean, you could hit a solid shot and scuff the heck out of it. I mean, or you could hit a thin shot and put a smile in it.
A big smile in it.
Yeah.
Cletus would still use it. He don't care.
Yeah, because it's done by the Cletus.
You don't see smiles on balls anymore, do you, really?
No.
Unless the lawnmower hits it.
Yeah, that's it. Because of the covers.
Now, I was just kidding about Willie because,
You weren't kidding. Now you're backtracking.
No, I was kidding. The main thing for a caddy like Wellington
This is coming from a man that's caddied in numerous events.
Yeah, is, like when I caddy in the LPGA,
Jack.
Yep.
I would help with the yardage. I would get the yardage, and we compare to make sure we had the right. I said, I got 138. She goes, yep, I got 137. We're good. But I'm sure Chris does the same thing with Welly. Welly is out there to keep him calm, tell him stories, keep his mind off everything but golf, and just put him in a good frame of mind, and that's what he's very good at.
Now, if he's actually carrying his own bag, does he at least get a pull cart?
I don't think he would necessarily do that
He
for
has
the
not used
look.
a pull cart. No,
Would you not do
But
it?
I
with a
am
pull
seeing
cart?
I'm seeing a lot more iron covers.
Oh, yeah.
These days in bags.
Wow.
Maybe it's worse. Maybe it's a Sullivan thing.
And that's worse for you guys because they leave them like usually if you have iron covers,
it's
you're
terrible.
leaving your 8-iron
Jay,
cover.
where does hey, I left my 6 iron cover on the course? Do you see it rank up to I left this old coffee cup in my car?
It seems like maybe that was a Christmas or birthday present they got from a wife trying to feed his golf habit.
You
and
know,
he said, well, I guess I better use them.
I guess it's the same at restaurants to a certain extent or other places, but
Iron cover.
they just leave. They leave everything except they never leave weed or money.
I know. That's the
They
two things
never
you
leave weed or money.
Now, Jay, when I worked at Forest Park,
there back in the day.
Yeah, the stuff people would leave, rollerblades, inline rollerblades, but they would sometimes lose rangefinders.
Oh, the rangefinder situation. I let them go for about a week.
I was just about to say that. I said 2, maybe 3 weeks, and then if no one's claimed it in 2 or 3 weeks,
have at it.
You can tell the clientele at a golf course if you go and look in their lost and found
Yes,
bin,
you can.
and you can see the clubs that are left.
McGregor's.
Oh, look,
God, the
I just found
club selection.
No offense to my friends that play the rock, but the clubs left there are a little different than the gateway.
Aren't they usually wedges where you take a wedge and a putter out of your bag and you go up and you hit the wedge and you set it down and you
leave
putt
it.
out. And
It's rarely a 3-wood.
Well, don't say that because down at the Sully, we get an influx of fairway woods.
Really?
And you can tell the ones that they take.
Oh.
Because I lost my TaylorMade M6 sand wedge. I left it out there. Nah, nobody's turning that in, but they'll turn in that Patty Berg 9-iron.
Oh, I had a Patty Berg club too.
And then the people they get pissed when you don't have it.
Yes, they do.
Well, let me take.
It's your fault.
Let me look. I'll be back in a moment. No, sir, we didn't have the wedge. What do you mean you didn't have it? Did I stutter? We don't have it.
Whoever found it has it in their bag.
I would believe that's what happened. Maybe it's still on the golf course and it'll be turned in and check with us tomorrow. But how
do you know unless their name is on the club somewhere?
Well, if they tell you the model and the whole thing.
Yeah, who's really wanting the Patty Berg 9-iron unless it's actually yours?
Do you have my Callaway Jaws 52 wedge with the worn out grip and the bent shaft when I chucked it into the woods?
Now, I was in the member guest at a Westboro.
Well, certainly.
I left my 58 degree somewhere. I think it was on the 6th green, because I remember. So where is my 58? And I can't find it. I need my 58. And I called the clubhouse, and I just said, hey, I don't know. I think it was on hole 6.
Get out here and get my 58.
I left my 58 degree, I think, right by the fringe on 6. Can somebody see if it's there? And sure enough, the assistant pro came out a hole later and said, I said, here you go, we found it. And then I went on to hit my 58 to within 3 feet and made birdie on the very next hole.
Of course you did.
So this was just a
lead up to talk about the birdie.
The 54. I had to use
you as the hero.
I had to use the 54 for 2 holes and just.
You couldn't do it.
I don't have that kind of touch where I know that I can hit my 54 anywhere from 40 to 70 yards.
Sure you do.
My 58, I know, is just a perfect 30 yard.
Yeah.
Hey, Plowsy, could you tell me how you trim your shrubs, bro?
Yeah. Like.
Okay, no sound.
Yeah, I always think that sounds good.
How does it sound again?
And you can hear it faintly in the background with that noise. The hair is just lightly brushing away. And that's the Lawnmower 4.0,
floor?
Doug. Yeah, from Manscaped. On the floor. For me, it's in the toilet, tank lid.
Oh,
hot.
But you can do it in the shower. It's all waterproof. You take the Lawnmower 4.0, Doug, and you get that top layer. You get that top layer just right off. You know, you could go porpoise. You could do a quarter inch. You could do a flying V. You have a bunch of different scenarios because there's a bunch of different waterproof attachment for it. And also, Doug, you get the crop duster, that crop shaver, and you lift your balls
razor?
up, and you get underneath in that very gentle area. That comes with all the equipment, the
what sound does the
exfoliating
crop
gel.
duster make? Oh.
It's a quick one.
And no nicks, no cuts, no razor burn. I know that's always a worry for a lot of people to go under, underneath the hood because
there's
of that,
no hood.
the infected hairs and all that
guys,
sorts
no.
of thing that can tend to happen. All of these products, Doug, are phenomenal. They come even with the boxer. They're breathable. You can cuff your balls. Certainly, more of that mesh style trim as well. It's phenomenal. Go to manscaped.com.
Yeah.
Click on the promo code and type in TMA for that.
Is there a promo code?
TMA.
TMA.
That'll get you 20% off and free shipping. It is super hot and uncomfortable out there. Nothing worse than having a little swass and sitting around uncomfortable with that sweat in that region. Get it taken care of with Manscaped.
Swass.
You will. I mean, you and your partner, whether it be your uncle, step uncle, your girlfriend. Get it for a stepdad even. It's a great gift. You really don't have to explain yourself. You just say, hey, Dad.
Well, you would if you got it for a stepdad. You'd have to explain that, wouldn't you?
Explain what it does, yeah, but...
Trying to clear it out, bruh.
It's a bonding type moment. No bleeding, no chafing, no nicking, no cutting.
Do you have to lotion after?
There is lotion
Couldn't hurt
before
you.
and after. The exfoliating gel is a huge factor in that delicate underneath the ball region. So go to manscaped.com, type in TMA for the promo code, get 20% off and free shipping. Amazing products. I've seen people on the fan page with their orders. They have
bought
nothing
some,
but
have they?
great things to say. So yeah, get it and you'll be thanking me.
And they market this as shave under your hood?
I always like to use that reference to where, your car may look good after a car wash, but guess what?
You don't know what's under the hood.
That thing needs an oil change.
Could
That's a
be hair under-
tranny flush is waiting to happen, but guess what? Take care of it.
Doug, can you tell us about our title sponsor? He's been a title sponsor for almost damn near a decade.
Well, he has. We were talking about Ryan Kelly. He was in here yesterday. So
Right,
it's great
Brett.
to hear
He's
Ryan
doing
Kelly
another climb.
raising money. Yeah, he's going to climb in Ecuador this time.
Sick.
Climbing like 16,000 feet, something like that. He said.
I think he raised over $10,000 yesterday after coming on the show.
10 dimes yesterday?
Yeah. And the goal was 2,500. Wow. And he raised 10,000. He's always doing something like that. And he can also help you with your mortgage, of course. Interest rates are all over the place right now. Get yourself locked in today. The home loan expert rates are a quarter point lower than the national average. So you lock them in. Here's what you do. You get the rate locked in today. Then if the rates go up, you don't have to pay that higher rate. If the rates go down, you get the lower rate. So I don't know why you wouldn't do it. If you're in the market for a home, you're going to probably be in the market for a mortgage. Let Ryan Kelly and his fabulous staff help you out with that. Again, he's got loans for everybody. He's got that Hero loan for the veterans. He's got the teacher appreciation loan. He's got the union worker appreciation loan where teachers and union workers get a $500 gift card when they close a loan on a original mortgage or on a refinance. So let Ryan Kelly take care of all of your mortgage needs. He, again, is at thehomeloanexpert.com.
That's Ryan Kelly, title sponsor for basically a decade. He's such a great guy. You saw him yesterday coming into the studio, and he's truly one of the best. Now, we're talking all this golf, and you can't talk golf without the Fan Page Club Championship. I'm not in the studio, and I can't see the Mick Ultra sign. Can someone tell me about it? I can't see it. I can't read it right now.
2.6 grams of carb, 95 calories. A fantastic beer for this time of year, Doug.
Yeah,
You're sitting around watching a Cardinal game. Get yourself a Mick Ultra, man.
You could drink 200 beers, Ballsy, and it would be less calories than what you eat in the morning.
That is correct. It is very crisp, refreshing beer.
What do you worked over this morning?
I've had 2 yogurts. I've had a tapioca pudding.
You've had 2 yogurts and a pudding.
Yeah, and the crumb cake. And I, obviously have a peach.
You eat anything before you come in here in the morning?
No, I just get here, do work, kind of...
Eat after today? You mean you'll eat later today?
Yeah, I'll probably go up, drop my car off at Munganess and maybe, grab a little bite.
There's some chicken in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Who gave us that chicken, Iggy?
Chicken strips?
No, Raising Cane's.
Mm-hmm.
They brought it in.
You mentioned
They
Cane's.
brought it in from Learn Show.
You mentioned Cane's, Ken. And
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Joey Chestnut? You probably maybe have interviewed him along the way.
The hot dog guy. I've interviewed him.
He set a world record in Las Vegas, Nevada yesterday. Joey Chestnut ate 44 Cane's chicken fingers in 5 minutes.
Jesus.
44.
Oh, my God.
And they're breaded? Eating fried chicken?
Oh, yeah.
I ate 4 this morning.
I just don't know how you can enjoy doing that.
Did you really eat 4 of them?
No.
Why would you say you did?
That's a good amount of Raising Cane's for sure.
That's a lot, yeah.
Well, 44 or 45 is
that's
insane.
I don't know if he enjoys it or if just that's his thing. That's
He's
what he
just
does better than anyone else in the world.
You can't enjoy it. Eating it that quickly, you can't even savor the flavor.
Of course not.
I like to sit down and relax and, kind of like Natty Nate did when we put him in the...
No, we were in there. Like,
food eating contest.
Yeah, that was the Hot Shots all-you-could-eat thing. And
was he going fast?
And we went against that professional eater that Jay Boy brought, and this guy's shoving stuff. And Natty Nate's got a fork and a knife, dabbing a little drink of water.
Casual little bite to
Another
eat.
little piece of the... That's
what
good.
was his name? Like the Garbage Man or...
The garbage disposal.
Thank you. Garbage disposal. And he laughed. Like, we were on a stream because he was doing his own stream. And I just got free food, so I'm kind of just hanging out.
And he won the tournament, won the little contest, and then promptly left.
Well, yeah, because everybody else was...
Natty didn't win.
No,
he's like lapping, dude.
Natty Nate was there like a table for one, please.
It was like 3 tacos, a pizza, and a burger, if I'm not mistaken, or something.
And wings, too, right?
And wings, and he did all of that in 30
Jackson,
minutes.
if my Horton Watkins math is correct...
Usually is.
That means that Joey ate a chicken finger every 6.8 seconds.
Yeah, his world record for hot dogs and buns, that's a key, is 71 in 10 minutes.
He is a 15-time mustard title holder.
He must be able to just open up his throat.
Oh, I've got to go.
Completely. Because I've seen people chug beer where you couldn't drink it any faster if you just simply poured it out on the ground.
Right, it's the
It's
throat.
going down their throat at the same speed.
Right.
So he must have that ability with food.
Now, with these foodies, there's a lot of different categories. Now, when you see some of the contestants, it shows,
I know a guy.
What
What's his
food
name?
would you guys be better at? Like, if there a food, you do the bunny tracks. I don't know if there's something that you can
Bunny
think
tracks
of
is
that
ice
you
cream,
could
isn't it?
eat in a certain amount of time.
Wings.
I think wings might be a good one for me.
Because you can do the thing with the umbrella with the wings and just eat it all in one bite.
Ice cream, you couldn't. It's too cold. You wouldn't be able to shut
brain
that
freeze.
down.
You'd die of brain freeze. I think wings are a bad food for fast food eating contests because who knows
What's left
when you're done with the wing.
Yeah,
When
what's
you eat a hot
left on
dog,
the wing?
there's nothing left.
Right, you're right. Because you can, depending on, I've seen some people just eat everything on the wing.
Yeah.
And some people leave a little just laying.
something.
Yeah.
Remember we used to do a segment called Balzer Will Eat Anything?
Yes, and he would.
I love how it's pretty, that name.
Yeah, Balzer Will Eat Anything. And we do a contest, but then he would take like a big bite of a wing and throw it on the plate, and I'd say, look, there's still half the meat on there. That doesn't count. You have to pick that thing clean. And he would just go, it was gross, but then half the bone has got meat on it, so you have to...
He was in that, were you there at the pizza eating contest?
I'm pretty sure
You probably on furlough there. Yeah, he was at a pizza joint in Illinois, and he finished. He was disappointed that he finished second in the pizza contest. I was pretty impressed with what he did.
Now, what's gross to me is that, because I like to enjoy my food, I can't. When they get to those hot dog eating contests, they like dip it in water to soften up the bun so it shoves in their mouth quicker and easier. It's just stupid.
That's not eating.
There's no taste.
That's shoving things
But
in
they're
your
not
mouth.
doing it for taste. They're doing
Well, I
it
know,
for
but that's
speed.
why I couldn't do it. I like to enjoy my meal. I don't just scarf stuff down.
Now, here's the real question for the appliance discounters, 8 o'clock hour, your hometown appliance stores featuring major brands like GE. Let's say you're your hungriest point. You hadn't eaten all day. Plazzy, maybe you've partaken in a little THC.
I know.
Jay.
Yep.
Yeah, Jay.
Yep.
You a 30-pack of Crave Case. A Crave Case of White Castle's put in front of you. How many are you putting down?
There are onions on them?
Yeah. Well, you can take off whatever you
So
want.
I can get cheese and ketchup and
Yeah, Cheese Castle, whatever you want on it, but they're White Castle.
But these are singles, right?
What's
Yes.
the time frame?
It doesn't. No, it's an hour.
Just go.
Yeah. How many do you get through before you're full?
I would eat all of them in an hour.
You think you could do 30?
I would eat all of
There
them.
is no way.
You better be careful.
There is no way.
You better be careful.
There's
30
no way.
singles
Now, I drove
easily.
through once and ordered 8. and didn't have any problem at all.
Dude, I think
Polish those off, Doug.
You think, Plowsy, you could eat 30
in an
castles in an hour?
Correct. The singles, not the doubles. Yes.
All right, a challenge has been
I
presented.
don't
Well, that's
think-
going to happen. There's
I
no
don't
question.
see it being that. I think I'm with Doug. I think you pound 8 immediately.
Yeah.
Give it that. If you wait every 10 minutes.
Pound 8 immediately.
Well, I'll get this done because Courtney. I think Courtney's show has
does
a
have a
relationship
great-
with White Castle.
She does.
I'll pick a day next week.
Get this done.
Well,
while
with
I'm here
Courtney to
next
get
I'm not
them
here
to
next
drop.
week.
No, the week after. I'll get her to drop
See
off.
if she can
the
do it.
pace
I
of
want her to
30.
do it tomorrow.
And
I'm going to be
during
here.
We
the
can do
show.
it tomorrow. I'll eat it
I'll
tomorrow.
During
talk
the
to-
show, too, while you sit right
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, it'd be a
because
full
we can
hour
give an
segment.
update while we're doing it.
Stinking there.
He's got an hour over
Stink
there
like
with
blood.
30
Yeah, yeah.
hamburgers, and we will
Not gonna be that
count while we're
lousy.
doing the show.
That's a BN. That's a big number, brother.
That's a huge number. Maybe 20 and probably a
No,
better
no, no.
number.
No,
than
you
that.
said 30.
he
You
said
said
30.
you punished
We
it
can
in an hour.
we can try the 30.
Well, you
100%.
seem rather confident.
When I had the 8,
When I had the 8.
walks in, I drove to that White Castle down
So
there,
unusual
downtown.
for Doug.
I had 8, and I had the fries with it.
See, that's the thing. If you
And
don't
I
have
mean,
the
I was
fries-
on life support about an hour later. I was flatlined.
Oh, I
I had
think-
people standing over me to see if I was going to make it.
I think 8 single is pretty easy.
I could do 8.
Yeah.
I couldn't do
I
it.
did,
I've
but I was
eaten
hurt.
I've eaten 5 doubles before. That's the most doubles I've had.
We got to get this done.
But in an hour, that is such a long time frame.
Yeah, but you're going to get so
You're going to
bloated.
be so surprised
You'll
because you're
be
going to be at
belching.
like 15 at 20, and you'll be like, oh.
We can definitely get a crave case here tomorrow by like 9 o'clock, Plowsy. We could do it
That's
9 to
fine.
10 o'clock.
9
How
to
much
10
is a
o'clock.
crave case?
That's going to be a big hour.
How much does it cost?
Yeah.
Probably 12, 14 bucks.
No, we'll talk to Courtney. See
Oh,
if we
not
get
with the
something
prices now.
$14 for 30 burgers?
You can't go to McDonald's for less than $12 these days.
20 bucks? I don't know. How much are like 6 castles and fries is like $8
I
bucks.
bet a crave case should be $20.
Yeah. What? I
I
got
got it.
double
I'll-
sawbuck.
If
Oh,
we
nice.
can't get it traded, I'll pay for it.
Buck Swope put the picture of the garbage disposal on Natty Nate.
Natty Nate with a fork and knife, just eating a little piece of burger there.
Plowsy, like that's gonna be the worst way to start a Friday. Like you're gonna
Well, then
eat.
I gotta drive to Montana, so hopefully, but it'll
Oh,
be.
my.
You can purge.
Listen,
before
we
you
got
leave.
we got to sit
Poor
here and
Maddie.
smell that stuff.
That's
It's
the
no
thing.
prize for us either.
I think I would give it an absolute college try and do as much.
You
as I
think you can
possibly
do it?
I bet you could get to like 15. I bet 15.
He said 30, and he was damn confident.
I know, but I think 15 is more likely. Yeah, dude, after like 10 of those, you're going to hit a wall so big. Those buns are so fluffy, it's going to sit in your stomach like a cannonball.
Well, I'm going to do this. My usual technique will be smashing them really thin.
Or do what Joy Chestnut does and put the buns in water.
No,
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't want that.
I don't like soggy buns, bread.
Flip
any of
that
it.
off.
Soggy buns or bread.
Oh my God, Plowsy is gonna pound a crave case and drive to Montana. R.I.P. Madison. That car is gonna be a gas chamber.
Can you imagine?
That's good. It'll be a tough one because that is happening. We got to.
Hi, honey.
T's and P's to Madison. That car after Plowsy's eat 30 belly bombers.
Now, here you go.
Even if he ate 8. But the thing about it, if you're just full of it.
Here you go. We can get this done without a problem. We all just got a text from Clayton Patterson. There's a White Castle in walking distance from Mungan-Ass Acura. Let's make this happen. My treat.
Oh,
God, see again.
go to
I
the
will see
Mungan-Ass.
Clayton today. Love those boys, and I am fine with that. I will suffer for the sake of
We'll
trying
suffer
to.
too, buddy. We got to smell
Well,
it.
now let's go back and remember, you seemed rather confident that
Wh-
you would put 30 down.
But when you actually, I'm actually.
But when you
thinking
actually start
about-
thinking
Woo,
about it,
Let me suggest something to you.
15 is that's halfway.
Because I love you like a brother, although I'm probably old enough to be your father.
You are.
I'll say I love you like
like a stepfather.
what do you mean, probably?
I love you like a son. I love you like a stepson. You put the number out there for the mile you could run. You can't do that.
You don't know
You
that.
put.
We haven't
I know
tried.
that. I know that.
You don't know.
You
for
put
sure.
the 30 out there. You're not going to do that. We need to come up with something that is something you can do and you can beat its ass and do it.
I think 20 is a number that is much more doable and still a ridiculous number. 30 is insane. But I think the
But
8-minute
you
mile.
sounded like it was a layup.
It just the more you think about the bunnage.
It's an hour.
I'm telling you, Plowsy, those buns, like, I think you're going to get to 10 tomorrow, and you're gonna hit a wall, and the meat sweat is gonna start.
Can he throw up in the middle of
No,
this?
you gotta keep it in.
You'd have to eat. You'd have to eat one every 2 minutes.
Are you going to do anything pregame? Anything pregame with yogurt or anything before? Or just...
I'm gonna. Yeah, you gotta have. I gotta base my stomach with yogurt.
Yeah.
I have to put.
Get a little tapioca.
You put yogurt in there too.
I'm putting a little yogi in there.
You're gonna get a big bloated belly. You're gonna look like you're 8 months pregnant.
The toilets here
All
are
right,
gonna
so
be.
as of right now, the hope is tomorrow, right as we kick off the 9 o'clock hour,
Correct.
we will have 30 White Castles for Plowsy to eat in the final hour of the show.
You want them warm?
I mean, I prefer them warm. Yes.
Here's what I would do, just to
But I
make
can warm
everybody.
them up in the microwave.
Yeah,
I'd not
everybody at the
show up
station would
tomorrow.
love. Everybody at the station would love for you to warm it up in the microwave if you could.
It's a competition, and I need it to be. I mean, I need myself as well as the burger to be on the top of their game. I need them a little warm.
Now, an hour is a good amount of time. I mean, like
It
you could start hot and then take your time a little bit.
It's one every 2 minutes.
Right, but if you do the first 6 or 7
in a minute,
in 2 or 3 minutes, then you can kind of cruise a little bit on the back end.
Yeah, we're going heavy on the first couple laps.
It didn't take me very long to eat those 8.
Did you eat them in the car?
Back to the station by the time the 8.
Do you think you should have paced yourself a little longer?
Yeah. Could you have eaten 8 more real quick?
and
I could have had a couple more.
Yeah, not 20 more.
I don't know about that.
That would have had to been 22 more.
22 more.
A very confident Plowsy will take on a crave case tomorrow here on the Ryan Kelly
That's
morning
exciting.
after.
What about the flatulence?
Oh, it's gonna be bad.
It's the 9 o'clock hour.
Yeah, but we still got to sit in here with the smell of the White Castle and him farting.
By the time that gets going, usually the rumblies start about an hour after. Like
Pepper and Genie is in trouble.
P&G will be.
We're canceling Pepper.
Better be careful with the Manscaped.
Each burger's just
Man, it's
about
tough back there.
3 big bites, right? Each burger.
Yeah.
burger.
Yeah. You could do that. So it's Kathy sent us in some math for this. There's 135 calories in each slider. He times that by 30. Plowsy will be taking down 4,000 calories.
Nothing.
That's double the average human's allotment.
I've eaten
the
4,000.
suggested.
Right.
I've eaten 4,000 calories here.
No, I've seen it.
With
Yeah, I've seen
donuts
that.
and things like that. I'm not worried about the calorie count. The number of burgers
itself.
is eye-popping for sure.
I ate 10 of them a few weeks ago, and my stomach never fully recovered for at least 4 days, screaming heebie-jeebies and rock gut for those 4 days following. Good luck on your trip. What a great way to start a vacation.
I think like
great way to start.
Don't do this if it's going to make you sick.
Midway to Kansas, Nebraska at 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I have like an emergency rumble situation.
Don't worry, you just go out in the field with the cattle.
Yeah, at that point, we always like to carry toilet paper and paper towels anyways for trips like this.
Jay wrote me into a gyro eating contest once, and I only got through a few, and I still thought I was dying a Greek tragedy death. 8 hours later, you are not prepared, Plazas, from Brother Abear.
100% not prepared, I would agree, but
So what toppings are you going to have on? Like, what do you need anything taken off of it?
No onions.
For me,
you
I
gotta
like.
have the onions on there. That's a burger.
We want to talk about smell. The onions are not going to be helpful.
I need mustard.
You need mustard on it or on the side?
I can dip it in mustard. I need me some mustard.
Yellow mustard, or do you like a stone ground?
I like. For 1 or 2 of them, a nice
to get a gal
Dijon,
to hold the mustard.
I need yellow mustard. And I don't mind. The onion can be on or off, but that's fine. I can't do ketchup, but if the onions stay.
Why don't we take care of Jay tomorrow, too? Why don't we have a girl come in and dip her feet in mustard, and you can lick that off while you're eating the White
It's
Castle?
one or the other. You can't do a Foot Fetish Friday and a Crave Case contest.
This is locked into the
Would you
crave
rather have COVID than have to come into a studio with 30 crave cases and a foot just
there?
Yeah. Someone's grandma would certainly die if they had to come in for Foot Fetish Friday during a Crave Case competition.
Now, who is this 8 o'clock hour as we wrap it up sponsored by?
This is over by the fine folks at Appliance Discounters, your hometown appliance source, featuring major brands like GE. Coming up on the Captain's Log, we have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, and then we got Pepper and Genie following the show.
And Mark Hanna in the next hour.
Yeah, we're going to get Mark Hanna on the line here in just a moment. He's always fun to talk to. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After, closing out the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour live from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan for Design Air Heating and Cooling. I am a very happy client. Design Air Heating and Cooling and Seth Goldcamp and his incredible staff, which you can find online at designairservice.com. Just go to the website, click on the Book Now tab, and any issues you may be having with your HVAC system, they will take care of immediately. The customer service, second to none. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. Online at designairservice.com.
Hey, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 7, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago, and they still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a one-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
Iggy's Drops of the Week.
There's no shame in being single. It just means that 7.5 billion people don't want to be with you.
The tenant next door to it is a Kokomo Joe's.
Well, this guy's huge. And he did anal.
If you don't have a truck, a tat, and a kid by 20, you ain't nothing.
You know who doesn't kill spiders? Learn.
We're not talking about you right this second.
Doug's had enough.
I've got hair that people would die to have.
Martha White makes very good muffin mix.
Exploding colons.
I believe the fingering is the same.
When it says I'm diddling myself.
He's got a big blowhole.
But he's trying to pound Jackson.
The guy who actually took the first poop, how, he reacted, and did he squat?
You spend 15 minutes of it talking about Merkins. It's like one of your favorite topics for some reason. And every time you bring it up, once a week on the show, you start talking about Spartacus. It's like the same conversation that you have with yourself. No one even listens.
There's really nothing to talk about.
I got to tell you, pretty much viewing-wise, I'm now just down to girl.
Well, we all like Brian.
She washed my balls, things like that.
And when I had my pants off, that's when Plowsy walked in.
What?
I think me and Iggy brought up a great topic of how weird it is for someone to get to page 12 or 13 on Pornhub. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've gone to page 24 before trying to find something I haven't seen before.
Oh, okay.
Patrick Green's a scrub.
And right in front of it is a Red Lobster.
It's some hideous article that Jackson found and he sent just to upset us.
Oh, here comes Ezekiel.
Now, if somebody would call in and say, Iggy, you're nothing without Tim, I'd have to agree. I wouldn't go on a tirade. I'd say, you're right.
2 days ago, I did. I felt a little prick.
His wife is dripping for Tim.
It was on TV of some kind.
Vince Vaughn entrails?
Boy, I'd really love to go hoe chasing tonight.
He's already given up on missionary.
Oh, and doggy. You would have 2 hands and a mouth available.
That's ass to mouth, right?
Iggy, can we find somebody to talk pap smear today?
I certainly wouldn't be known as a flute leaker.
Do you know I kept score for Elvin Metzger's final 300?
Boy, that'd be a killer threesome in the middle of the lineup.
I was cucked in the moment.
I got a podcast that's in the top 50 in every country on the planet.
I'm a hag. You just go into that big hole. We just talked about taking a dump.
Okay.
May I swallow?
Well, every time I tee it up, I got a chance.
You don't.
I gave Pepper and Jeannie a chance last week. 22 and a half minutes of pube talk.
That was Iggy's Drops of the Week.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Watch TMA on YouTube. Click the bell to subscribe. Download the podcast. Find it at tmastl.com or wherever you podcast. And check us out on TikTok at TMASTL.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Tim, Doug, Iggy, Plowsy, Action Jackson.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After, 105.7 HD2.
Listen for Jay.
Oh, he would have liked this. That'd been right up his alley.
My name, Junior Gong. That's the song name.
That's the name of the tune?
Yeah, and Jay
Jay is Junior Gong.
Jay is Junior Gong.
Why do you say that?
That's what he names himself.
Junior Gong.
He's a big Marley guy. I think he's seen Damian Marley a couple times.
Does that mean something, Junior Gong?
I don't know what it means.
We can ask Jay when he gets back in studio after the dart session that he and Smokey and the band are
Yeah,
doing.
it'll be about 5 minutes, give or take.
Oh, man. Welcome back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Welcome to the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. Catch the game in a pint at one of the 2 locations in Sunset Hills and downtown. Joining us on the Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone lines, the one, the only, the best in the business, Mark Hanna. Mark, what's up, my man?
I am enjoying the show this morning, to quote
Me too,
Bass Burglar.
Are you? Are you? You're
Yes,
listening to
indeed.
the show.
I listen every day, Doug.
Do you really?
Yeah, I've got my priorities straight. You got to listen and make sure that your day starts out in this way so it can only go uphill from here.
Absolutely. Yes, yes.
The endorsement we were looking for.
I think we've been described before as a good floor for your day, so that everything you can build on top of the nonsense that we build over here.
I feel like at least I'm not like one of those guys.
Speaking of nonsense, Plowsy.
Yo.
I seem to recall. I want to revisit the discussion of 4,200 calories in one sitting. I want to revisit that discussion because I remember witnessing at the golf tournament, you put aside, I want to say you put down 10,000 calories.
At least. I had 4 donuts in like that one sitting. I had sprinkled donut that I'm pulling out of my pocket.
And then the salt and smoke, you had
the candy snack packs.
The candy snack, you probably had a couple Coca-Colas.
And through it all, you don't gain a pound.
Correct. So
He's losing weight.
Yeah, I think the calorie intake isn't the issue. It might be that bread on the 20th and 21st slider that just might hand me my meal ticket.
Oh, it'll slide.
Oh, yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I deeply want to witness. I want to see you make this mistake, but realize it's a mistake, my man. Look at how the golf tournament day ended. It was rather ugly. You got to remember that going in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that considered, please don't let me dissuade you from making this mistake.
I'm
but
not.
It's a mistake nonetheless.
Yes, and the fact that I do have to make that 24-hour drive that day, it actually adds to the, I feel bad for Maddie, and the dogs alike, that they have to sit there and smell, that sewage for the next 24 to 28 hours. But they love me for it.
It's the price that you pay for your craft.
Correct.
It really is.
Yeah.
No doubt.
This is a job, and I have to do it.
You may have to get some sort of hose to guide the odor coming from you out the car window or something.
We'll figure out
sub
some
pump?
tools. Yeah. But I do remember, I miss you, Mark. I think that's the last time I've seen you since, so hope to get together after vacation. I haven't seen you in a minute.
Not showing up at trivia, stupid kids' obligations. That's the worst.
Yeah, we missed you. We missed you. It was a great time. We certainly missed you, but your round was rock solid. Now, Mark, we have a question coming in here to the EDF text inbox. Mark, my boyfriend moved to Sullivan, Missouri last year.
Stop.
Can I write off gas receipts when I drive there so he can give me no?
No.
That's from Engine Joe's Cave Ride Magic Man.
I do want to ask Mark a serious question.
Let's go.
Shout out to
I'm
Kevin
gonna
Miller.
ignore the last one.
With the Fed raising the interest rate a couple of times now, how does that affect most people? I know it affects everybody in different ways, but just the general public, what impact does that have on Iggy and me?
Not on me. How about you?
Well, it is a direct effect on all of us. It's an effort to combat really the biggest evil in anything financial. It's an effort to combat inflation.
Okay.
If we're all getting paid our paycheck, and everything else is getting more expensive in the world, and our paycheck doesn't go up because we only get raises every now and again.
Right.
But costs go up all the time. So there's a long history that inflation is the biggest evil out there. It's bad for us day to day. It's bad for our investment portfolios. It's bad for retirees. It's bad for everybody.
Bad for jobs, probably, in the end, potentially.
Well, and it's because as an employer, how do you know what to pay somebody? Because you got to pay the right scale out there. It is economically devastating. So these actions that they are taking, there is a lot of research that underlies it. The market jumped up yesterday after they came out with the announcement confirming what was suspected, so it means that the markets like it. How it will play out, I've seen editorials on both sides, so we don't know. So to answer your question, we don't know, but what we do know is that they are trying to make sure that we are able to pay our bills day to day, and that's how it affects us today. What it means for our investment portfolios for the long term is we've got to make sure that those are invested right to overcome that risk of inflation. I see far too many people get very sidetracked with looking at short-term volatility. Short-term, it's a temporary decline. That will come back. Don't know how long, don't know when. We're not going to get into the short-term timing. The long-term loss is the loss relative to inflation. So if you don't stay invested, you don't overcome inflation, your dollar loses in real terms. So that's what we're always trying to overcome. But that's going to your question. They're trying to beat back inflation, which is a big, bad evil, and we got to make sure that we're very cautious about it.
Mark, it's so good to hear you every Thursday. You're so knowledgeable, such a great guy. We really appreciate it, and I know I appreciate working with you. Thanks so much for joining us, as always, sir. Thank you, Mark.
Good luck, Clousy.
All right, thanks, Boo.
This is the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. Catch a game in the Pint at one of the two locations, Sunset Hills and downtown. Coming up, we have...
Hey, you should mention that my man is going to change the downtown. Have you guys talked about that at all?
Oh, yeah, I've seen the pictures of his the new location. It's the downtown location.
Yeah, it's going to be Soccer Central.
Absolutely. Cannot wait to go down there, have a couple cold ones before going to support the dogs.
And that starts next spring?
Yes.
The team plays next spring.
Yes, spring 2023.
So the stadium kind of on its last... I mean, I haven't seen it in a while in terms of the updates.
It looks good.
It looks real good.
When are they putting grass on there? When did that happen?
Probably the last thing that they do, I would think.
Yeah,
I would imagine they'll sod it in the...
Oh, yeah.
They'll probably, if they haven't, they'll probably sod it this fall.
Right. Season usually starts around mid-April, so...
Tim asked a question on Twitter yesterday. I don't know your responses, but I want to get them real quick just for my own knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
You may have told the listener yesterday, but I don't care.
No, it's good.
Okay.
I want to update the Gallup poll.
Kenny, are you looking more forward to the Battlehawks or the MLS?
That's a pretty good question.
Yeah, it is. I said I'll go to the first game I'll go to is whoever drops up the first kit for us.
Oh, you got to get something in order to
I think I'm with-
honor them
I
with your
think I'm with
presence.
Iggy on
When you've
this
gotten to the
completely.
position he's at, that's what you
Yeah,
do.
it's all about the free
Freebies.
stuff now. That's all it is.
Tax write-off,
I got a
Jack.
package. I don't even know what this is, but it's free.
Well, open it up.
You
Let's
got
see
a
what it is.
package when we were walking in here. Take this.
Could be a subpoena.
I would.
You've been served.
I would say soccer because we haven't seen it here
Yeah.
for so long. Unless you want to talk indoor soccer, at the professional level, I'm looking forward to seeing the new stadium. They're selling the hell out of season tickets. The XFL, it's minor league football.
The XFL lasted 16 months the first go-around. So I would hold off.
Well, I don't
on-
think it was their fault though.
No, and I get that, but the league is now fresh and new again, but it may not be the Battlehawks. I think soccer, and I am the least soccer fan you ever meet. I mean, I just
Will you
never
go
grew
to
up
the
with it.
pitch?
Yeah, I think it'll actually be kind of fun. I'll be honest.
So, a couple things. Apparently, the sod was laid down 8 weeks ago.
Oh, it's already there?
Well, I was going to say, I've seen these pictures, and I'm like, maybe they're just superimposing their
And then
names. I didn't know.
They just finished up the training pitch. That was finished 2 weeks ago.
See, I think
Yeah, they're right. They're ready to
Must
roll.
be about done.
the
Yeah.
atmosphere, if you can get some local kids, like I don't know a thing about soccer, so it's going to be all just new for me. It's just going to be an entertainment fest, which
You'll hate them by a couple of games.
If you can entertain a
They'll be
guy
cheap.
like myself,
Well,
they probably will be cheap, but that's MLS as a whole. But I think it'll be exciting. I think I'm much more excited about the MLS franchise and what it brings.
So, according to Tim's Gallup poll from yesterday, which has 1,500 total votes, what are you more excited for in St. Louis sports, the XFL or the MLS? The MLS got 73% of the vote, while the XFL got 27%.
You concur, Doug?
Yeah, the MLS is new. It's something we haven't had. It's a brand new stadium. People will be excited to see that. People hate that dome. And that's why they have to go to watch Battlehawks game.
The energy will
seen
be
the
more.
Battlehawks.
There'll be more energy.
I'm happy for the people that really enjoyed Battlehawks football as something they had, as something that was theirs. I mean, I've seen guys that still get together and tailgate, even though there's no game, because the Battlehawks was such a fun experience.
Tailgating for what?
them. Just tailgating to tailgate.
With nothing going on?
Having some cold ones,
Correct.
probably.
Just driving down, getting their spot, get their grill out, get their beer on, and just talk.
They're the only ones in the parking lot, I would guess. There's nothing going on.
Well, I think maybe there's a couple of groups.
Can you tailgate for a Cardinal game? Have you ever seen that happen?
I have not seen
They won't
it
let you
happen
do it in that
per
parking
se.
lot there. That garage there, that outdoor garage right next. Well, I don't think it's there anymore because of Ballpark Village. But that garage is that parking area that Joe used to park cars there.
Yeah.
No, he
still
did.
there.
He did.
They still park a lot of cars there.
I think
Not
there's
the one by patios.
No,
That
the other
lot-
side. I think
The
they say.
Draymond
Just
Tez
north.
place.
I think they say no tailgating.
The lawn, you know, where they had that big TV screen, the lawn by
The sports and social thing.
Sports and social thing. They've upgraded that. I see a lot of people drinking there beforehand, but you can't like bring a cooler and sit up at like the top of it.
But I mean, even for like playoff games, nobody was tailgating. I mean,
No,
very
they want
rarely.
you to go into Ballpark Village and go to one of the restaurants
go to a
there.
bar
and drink
somewhere.
there.
Which is understandable.
Which is great, too. I mean, I always enjoy, before a Cardinal game, hitting BPV up.
Well, if there was a
having
big-
cold one and then going over.
Back when the Rams were there, I mean, there was a lot kind of away from the dome that people would do it. But if you opened a place that didn't necessarily have to be a bar, but if you opened a nice patio area and let people bring coolers in there and hang out, and
That's the picture
I'm
I
sorry,
saw.
I'll tell it later.
No. That was the picture I saw. He's just tell him. You ought to start. So.
I didn't mean to distract the entire group.
Didn't mean to jump in.
I've never seen
What
the
happened
grass
when
on the
Tim
field.
was here?
Tell your story right
No,
now.
I'm done.
No,
No, we got to hear the story at this
Come
point.
on,
We
tell
have to
it.
hear it.
It wasn't a story.
Let's hear it
What
again.
was it?
No.
I just said if there was a place down by the dome back when the Rams were here that you could open, not necessarily a
think they'll get
parking lot,
soda.
but just
I
an
think they're
area
asking
where
for
people
too
could
much.
mingle and lay out blankets and chairs and coolers and party. It would
Yeah,
be filled. And you would charge like $5 a person to get in there. They'd make a killing. People
Great
would do
story, Rosenbag. You can't tailgate in that garage. It's not there anymore, but you can't tailgate there.
I
Good
think I just
Lord.
said it's not there anymore. I said back when Joe was parking cars,
Okay, calm down, angry.
Ulysses S. Grant.
there was still a sign that said no
Gotta get
tailgating.
Joe in there.
They wouldn't let you tailgate. So I said back in the day, and I said, I don't think the garage is still there anymore. So why don't you listen to the whole thing before you start trashing me?
That came from 18th U.S. President Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
nice.
Did he win the war or lose the war? I forget.
One.
He
was
won.
on the
Yeah, he
winning
was
side.
kind of a-
Appomattox Courthouse.
He was the general.
It's kind of a big one.
I know. I always forget who wins, the North or the South. I really do. I
Things
don't.
be a little different if the South is.
I know. I just don't pay attention to wars. I really don't.
Well, it's
None of us were here to pay attention.
It's
to
not like they
but
announced
was
it on Sports
a
Center.
defining moment in our nation.
I know it was.
Breaking news: Appomattox Courthouse.
Yeah.
But like in World War II, I kind of like the documentaries you see on.
You know, we won that one.
Yeah, we won that one.
Yeah,
I
we're
think
2-0 in
I think
World
we're
Wars.
I think we're 14-1 in wars.
Dude, that
We haven't done so well since.
I think Afghanistan goes down as a loss.
I would have to say
Vietnam
so.
was a loss.
spirit
and I
win.
guess Iraq was a.
Oh, big W. Yeah, big win there. That was a rout.
Well, it was a rout,
Well,
but
it took like a week.
and then what happened in the ensuing year?
I mean, the French could throw toasters at Iraq and win. There's not much
What?
to do there.
Was that a French toast joke?
No, just
Did it
French
do the
aren't
French
known-
and the toaster?
French aren't known for their military prowess.
now,
No.
I like their soup. French onion soup's tasty.
oh, it's fire, dude. Oh my God, it's fire.
Back to the matter at hand. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock,
Is that the matter at hand?
here in these Hubbard studios, TMA Morning After, of course, Ryan Kelly, the homeowners expert,
Beast.
Plowsy is going to attempt to eat 30 belly bombers.
The belly bombers is I don't like that term, but
I bet you don't.
It's certainly accurate.
Does he get anything if he completes this task?
I mean,
He
hopefully
can play
a
golf
break.
at Normandy whenever he wants.
Get him a foursome.
All right.
Time's running out, so I need to get
Yeah, you can
my
play whenever you
Twilight.
want.
Can I get my Twilight pass still?
Absolutely, you're set.
And at some point, I assume you can just surrender.
Well, of course. And
Yes.
It's not going to be a gun to my head, finish
No,
30,
no
or
one
I'm not leaving
jamming
the
them down your
studio.
throat.
I could call some folks from Sullivan, bring up a couple pieces, and they'd put the gun to your head.
And for the record, so people don't think I'm just a complete idiot. Like
We're back to you.
You know the North one.
no, like the girls that do the feet and don't know when World War II is, or Pearl Harbor, I guess it would be.
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I know the North one, but I always forget who was the general on each side.
Robert E. Lee for the South, Ulysses S. Grant for the North.
Pretty iconic figures.
They were, but I always forget which general is.
Could you give us the dates of the Civil War?
Ooh.
Man, I don't even know if I could bust that out. Well, maybe I can.
Come on, Plow.
Any
I
guess?
got you.
Yeah.
What about the year that it ended? That's a notable time.
18.
It was a notable time.
1889.
No, Ken.
1861 to 1865.
Okay, well, I'm in the ballpark.
I said really in the ballpark.
No, 20 years.
Well, if someone said Pearl Harbor was in 1963, we wouldn't call them in the ballpark.
Well, that's because she's hot and she got nice feet.
You have a date on that for Ziggy? You have a date?
Well, that's a little bit closer to when I was born.
Okay, what
It's 100 years before.
What was the date for Pearl Harbor?
No, the 1940s.
Do you know the date for Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, 42.
41.
No, that's not right.
Dude, the
I
Pearl
get the two. I get the two. 2
All
years.
right,
thing.
2 years.
Don't.
I get the 2 years.
What about the
thing.
day, like the actual day?
Don't know.
Oh my.
June 18th.
June 18th.
Dude, Pearl Harbor Living Color on Netflix gives a really good background as well on
I like those living
a
colors.
fighter pilot from Japan who's actually still alive. He's like a main interview in that. It's freaking insane good. It is insane good. It's
What
on
year was
Netflix.
Grant elected president?
Ulysses?
Yeah.
1888, I believe, or
See?
89.
No, it would have been way before
Oh, it was
that.
eight years after the war.
He
Yeah.
was
80.
Because Johnson took over when Lincoln got
Correct.
assassinated.
Got assassinated.
And
Grant
then,
was after that.
so Grant would have been like 1874, 78.
We are sick with presidents,
Right.
and they all have gotten so much worse.
Well, yeah.
The president's
Oh my God, it's so bad. They used to be respected.
We got a
and
new benchmark going right
we
now.
we have a, yeah we're we,
Well, now wait a minute. It's been a two-term trend. Be careful.
That Brentwood High Hall of Fame. How about that? How about that whole deal? That's from Manute Bowl eligible.
Well, I didn't go in for my
He didn't go in for his Civil War knowledge.
for my smarts.
Are we sure that the Lizard Man graduated high school? Plowsy, a bit of advice. Stop saying phrases like, I guarantee it, and, oh, 100%. Do you understand the corner you're backing yourself into?
You did 100% on the belly
it was a
bombers.
it was a quick 100%. And I backtracked a little bit, but I'm going. I mean, that was the bet, and we're gonna play it.
Out to the hilt.
We're just gonna do it.
I'm proud of you.
I think 20. I think is a great number. I think that's where I'm gonna be landing.
It's too bad we didn't say 20.
Yeah,
we
that's
said
true.
30.
But at an extra 10, if I have another 15 minutes.
Either way,
you'll
you're
have
gonna.
some extras to give away.
Either way, it's gonna be a rough Friday afternoon for
Yeah,
you,
like,
kid.
it's not gonna be a big celebration if I do complete it because
Not gonna be any fun for us either.
you're really just starting the next phase of White Castle, and
Plowboy is used to pounding Lunchables and child snacks. Trying to eat double-digit castles at 9 a.m. is going to absolutely destroy him and anyone in his face. Keep a vomit shield over the board, fellas. It's from Hyman the Roth.
I can't disagree with
I'm
any
the
of that.
Roth.
Yeah, we need a shield up here.
Shout out Lee Strasberg.
So there could be some spittle and throw up
I'll
coming
have
over
a
here.
trash can here. The smell is going to be impossible to mask. It's just going to smell.
Can you imagine
like
that trip
White
to
Castle.
Montana Friday night? Madison. Plowsy, how far are we? I think we're.
Oh, I'm gonna be
Okay, don't make
stopping.
Those are the sound effects.
I'm going to be stopping a lot. Like,
You're driving to Montana?
Can you imagine anything worse than that?
yeah, dude. I'm leaving.
Yeah, driving to
tomorrow night.
Montana after eating 30.
30 castles.
So you're going to stop some places on the way.
Yeah, we got a hotel in Grand Rapids, South Dakota, right there off the interstate, which is about 14 and a half hours.
You can go see Deadwood?
Now, at that point, we're just eating and crashing, and then leaving at like 6 a.m. from South Dakota to Montana is about 9 hours. So,
She's talking about 23
yeah,
hours.
with the dogs, we have bringing 2 dogs.
2 dogs.
We got to add another 2 hours total with stops. So
Yeah, maybe a couple more hours if tomorrow goes poorly.
By the time you get to Montana, you got just enough time to say hi to everybody, maybe fish one day, and then head back home?
No, we get there Sunday afternoon, and we stay till Friday evening, then head up to Utah and then Colorado.
Down to Utah.
Down to Utah, thank you.
Down to Carnoustie.
Down to pretty much everywhere.
Yeah. Now, if you wanted to walk there, Plowsy, it would only take you 458 hours.
That's crazy that's even an option.
You could bike there in 117.
That may not be bad. Probably need the exercise.
What do you mean he could bike there in 117
That's
days?
what it says. It says
days?
No, 117 hours.
What about on a moped?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's only a few days, right?
There's no way he could bike to Montana.
I think I'm doing this through Google.
That's nonstop.
You would not stop.
It's less than 5 days.
Yeah.
You would be not stopping. You'd be like a machine.
Yeah, you'd never do that.
Yeah, it's not. I can't do that.
Especially after 30
Lance Armstrong
castles.
on steroids couldn't bike that in 5 days.
Well, what if he had 30 cheeseburgers
behind him, powering him?
Might help.
You don't need to stop for food.
Burst of energy every now and then.
What are you gonna do in Montana? It's one of the few kind of obsolete states I've been to. I've been to Montana.
It's amazing. We have
I played Billings once.
We have a cabin. We have a cabin right on Ennis Lake, and so we go to Ennis, Montana, which is about 30 minutes from Bozeman. Beautiful place. So we'll fish.
So you
we'll
got your
camp.
own cabin. That's why you can take the dogs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're right on the lake. My sister and my nephew will be, a half hour from it. They'll be coming up to visit, and so we just make a big thing of it. Stay in Colorado for 2 days on our way back, which is usually what we do. Go to Estes Park and Rocky Mountain.
I need a picture of you fishing.
I will. We'll do fly fishing.
Pull up a trout. Catch a trout and then take a nice picture of you and the trout.
Catching one will be tough. Yeah, that was my first year 2 years ago, but I got the hang of it.
You make a scrapbook eggs?
No, I just like to see Plowsy with a trout.
Oh, it'd be... If I catch one, I'll definitely have a picture of it.
And then catch and cook.
Well, we're definitely cooking it, yeah. Kind of the model.
Are you self-sustaining out there, or are you gonna?
No, I mean,
living off the land, Jay.
Not quite living off the land. No, we got some dinner ideas. Madison's had this create this whole itinerary to where I really don't have to do anything besides just drive. So it's super nice.
That's nice to have.
Do you like doing? Are you gonna? Okay, so Plowsy, I know that you don't usually listen to anything when you drive into work. Are you gonna listen to something on the way up there?
I hope not. But Madison, I'm sure, has a playlist. Sure. And so whenever she's...
You would rather have nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
For 21 hours.
For
23.
3 plus, yes. Yeah. I prefer that, but we will listen to something.
You smoke in your car?
I'm a blaze joint. I have 40 joints rolled up.
Oh.
You straight up got 40?
I bought 40 cones the other day, and yesterday I was sitting at home, COVID style.
Isn't there a risk of you falling asleep driving?
40.
No.
Oh, God, no, bro.
Not when you're a professional.
I did it in the CRV 2 years ago. It's a way worse vehicle, way less comfortable, and I
So you got the windows down in the car?
Windows down, sunroof.
You like the windows down when you're driving 80 miles an hour?
With no music on.
No music.
That's the sound.
Well, after the White Castle, you're gonna need that ventilation.
You're gonna hear the smell.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's gonna knock at your nostril.
Well, when you're done driving, Plowsy, I think the best way to celebrate that you've completed the trip is pouring yourself up a little fistful of bourbon. If I could hear a little about fistful of bourbon.
Yeah. And I definitely will have a little taste.
Yeah, absolutely.
3.
There's a lot of common sense and Western wisdom, Doug, like don't squat with your spurs on. Always drink upstream from the fan page. And there's also some Western wisdom that's less common, like never steal from a bear, which you can't make for yourself, or a twink doesn't know his worth until he's eye to eye with a rattlesnake holding the toad. I'm sure there's a good lesson in there somewhere, but there's one lesson that is perfectly clear. Fistful of Bourbon is an award-winning blend of 5 straight bourbons and as smooth as a banker on Friday. Get wise, pick a bottle today. Don't be a damn fool. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by William Grant & Sons, New York, New York.
And we know that the weather right now is okay, but we all understand that hot weather is coming back, and it's coming back with some vengeance. If you have any AC problems, that is brutal. You're going to want to call Design Air. Plowsy, if I could hear about Design Air.
Design Air Heating and Cooling is the official HVAC provider of TMA and The Tim McKernan Show. I am a client. Doug Vaughn is a client. And we would like to see you become a client as well. When you're dealing with the summer months in St. Louis and your air conditioning goes out, it is an absolutely brutal experience. So what do you do if that happens? The answer is You go to designairservice.com and you work with Seth Goldcamp and his incredible staff of service technicians. You click on book now and you are talking with somebody right away. And I don't know how many times I've gotten emails from listeners who say, I couldn't believe it. They were at our house within a couple of hours. And that's what you need when it's so hot out and your air conditioning isn't working. So make sure, should that happen to you, you go to designairservice.com and work with the company I work with and the company Doug Vaughn works with. The company is Design Air Heating and Cooling, the company you should be working with. Online at designairservice.com.
Boy, this YouTube chat is so red hot, Doug.
Oh, the
In what
takes,
way?
I'm sure.
My guess is that all four of you, and I guess five, including me, would struggle to finish a Crave case within 1 hour. I think you could do it, but you would be full.
Between the five of us?
I can't tell if they're. This is from Big Jim
You
Slade.
think we can't eat 6 apiece in an hour? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I think he's talking personally.
Yeah, I think personally. I know I couldn't. I'd struggle to get past 8.
I could do 8 to 12.
Yeah.
I'll start to
If they had
blink
cheese
at
on
12,
them,
but-
I don't know. And I like the fries, so I would need fries. Crinkle cut fries over there, delicious.
Lousy, I think you might do it. I really do.
Told you, I have more confidence. Than
My
a
only
lot of people.
fear is that's again one every 2 minutes over the course of an hour.
I think the yogurt play beforehand is a bad move.
I do too.
I think that any dairy product in your stomach combined with that's going to make for just
that
a real problem.
Stuff, yeah. I think the dairy is a non-go, but you do it how you
If
want.
I
Yeah,
can-
absolutely.
If I can get 15 within the first 10 minutes.
Oh my God!
I think you will.
Oh my God!
I think you might, but I think the last 10 is going to be a very interesting time.
Yeah, you can if you can get 15 in the first 10 minutes, you are going to be well on your way.
What
'Cause
do
then
what are people saying? Do they think you
no,
can do it?
I don't think there hasn't been one person who says he thinks they can do it.
So the odds are in my favor.
What would Madison say?
Madison would tell me not to do it.
But you're not listening to her.
No.
So do you leave for Montana after the show?
No, at 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Oh my God!
So you have time to throw up some of this.
Because it takes 14 hours. I don't want to get to South Dakota. No offense to South Dakota at noon.
Yeah.
And then just sit there. So getting there at 3 or 4.
And then you're going to chill there.
Chill there. And then leave
Make the
6
trip up.
a.m. in the morning. Yeah, and get to Montana about 2 o'clock in the
And
afternoon.
you're not worried about falling asleep at 3 or 4 in the morning, smoking all this
No,
marijuana.
again, we did it 2 years ago. We left at midnight. Stayed at the same hotel we're staying at now, so we kind of know the drill.
For these kind of trips, don't you wish they had self-driving cars?
Oh boy!
Where you
Yeah.
can just program it and then settle back and sleep and
It'd be hard for me
wake
to
up
trust.
5 hours later.
When is that going to happen?
I mean,
They kind of have them
They
now.
They say they kind of have
I
them,
think
but
give
they
it-
don't.
If you give it 10, 12 years, I think that thing it'll be a great thing.
And we're going to come out of our whatever our abode is and get in our car and type in where we're going and
Well,
just
right
sit
now
back.
your Google Maps can tell you exactly where to
Well,
turn.
no, I know. But I mean, we're going to punch in coordinates of where we're going, and then we're going to sit back.
I
See,
think so.
Jay, what they've done real well so far is the highway driving, because that's pretty easy. They can have AI technology to tell, know what speed to go, when cars are approaching, when lanes need to be changed. They've got that pretty much down. It's city driving with a ton of stops, ton of small, intricate turns is where they're having
Stop
some
signs,
issues.
all
Right.
that
That's. But I mean, Tesla's done a lot with AI and self-driving.
Just to do it on the highway would be fantastic.
But you still have to be behind the wheel. There's in no situation can you be in a self-driving car and not be behind the wheel. You have to be behind the wheel.
Can you fall asleep though?
I mean, you can if you're comfortable. No, I don't think you can. I think you have to stay awake.
Yeah, what's the point?
Well, you'd probably want to.
Well, the point would be that you could literally just sit there and do nothing and not have to worry
Yeah.
about.
Is it that big of a deal to have your hands on a steering wheel?
Well, if you're driving 23 hours.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
Lousy's doing 23.
Yeah. You think of all the distracted drivers right now who are driving while looking at their phone.
Right. Right. That's the
Listening
thing.
to this
You take that
program.
away, the drunk
Yes.
drivers. You take away drunk driving. You take away distracted driving. This will allow seniors or little kids to handicapped
get your
people to be able
license
to
at
go.
6 now.
You say take away drunk driving. It is a drunk person, and again, we're talking probably 10, 20, 30 years when it's all everywhere. A drunk person can get in their car drunk and just have them drive them home.
I don't know about that.
I
think
bet
that's
they could.
I think the idea, but I mean also with Uber, it's almost like that's just so much easier and you have nothing to worry about. With Ubers now, like there's no excuse for drunk driving.
Except the cost of Uber.
Cost of Uber is a lot cheaper than a DUI.
You got that
Well,
right.
but if you just get in a car that can take you where you want to go and you're not really driving, maybe you won't get a DUI.
Yeah, I think, but there would be situations where if something were to go wrong, you would need to take over. That's why they don't let you not sit behind the steering wheel.
Okay, so you're behind the steering wheel. You're not controlling anything. Is there a governor to where if the speed limit is 75, you only would be able to go 80 or 82?
Probably, yeah. We got a great text here from a very intelligent listener. The higher the percentage of vehicles that are self-driving, the more effective the AI will be in city driving, considering it'll be able to communicate with every other self-driving vehicle.
They'll be in touch with
it's
the
a
other vehicle.
neural network, so it's AI learning technology, and that came from our smartest listener, Deke Dotham.
Without question.
Well, I mean, we have cruise control now where you can just push a button and it stays on the.
We've had
the
cruise control.
speed. Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah, and it's just think of the things we have now we didn't have 25, 30 years ago.
Pornhub.
When we would go, on vacation, if you couldn't read a map, you weren't getting there.
Yeah.
There was no other way. You couldn't Google directions. You couldn't GPS it. If you couldn't read a map,
Wouldn't necessarily on vacation,
You
just
would-
getting around town.
yeah, you had
sometimes.
no idea.
Go somewhere.
You would have to stop at a gas station. I would have to do all the time.
Where is it?
Do you know where this place is at? Did you think 30, 35 years ago that there'd be something on your phone you just say, Siri, directions from home to White Castles in Melville.
Right.
Nice.
And there it is on your phone. That's all.
Road trip.
I mean,
I have to think in 30 years we won't.
Away game.
There won't be a rubber tire on the road. We'll probably be hovering over the road, because that would think of all the problems that would get rid of.
Yeah.
With holes in the road and
Tires
blowing
out.
Yeah.
Road holes.
Yeah, the friction there. You could go faster, I'm sure.
You think in 30 we'll be hovering?
I think so.
Like in Back to the Future 2, where there's just cars flying.
Well, you won't be able to just fly anywhere. It'd be mass chaos. But if you could hover over the roads, still use the existing roads, and maybe there's some sort of magnetic system on the road that'll guide you and push you.
so you think it'll be like the Jetsons, where you just like drop your kid out of the top of the car and he flies down to his school.
No, it won't be like that.
What about the Jetsons theme song?
Too chaotic. If we just let people fly everywhere,
Right.
there's too many.
You got to
But if
have some regulation.
If you stay on the roads, if there's something on the road that could power you, or at least you could hover above and take away that friction with the ground, that would be a huge.
What I do
move
know
forward.
is Nancy Pelosi will buy that technology months before we even come out
Yeah.
with it. If I can
her
guarantee
husband
anything,
will buy the stock
correct.
right before it comes out.
What will hover more, these vehicles or my 3D printer over my wife's father's chest? That's from
That's a poor question.
Deke Dotham.
I still don't understand the 3D printing thing, but I
It's
guess you
poop.
could, I guess you could print a gun.
Oh, I thought you meant the term.
No, it's like plastic and
Dude, Jay, they're 3D printing houses right now, man.
it's crazy.
All this stuff is
really
done by people
crazy.
smarter
It's
than
really
those,
crazy.
those in radio.
No, I wouldn't.
You said they're 3D printing
And look
houses.
at
And loafs.
They have videos of them doing it step by step. They're legit homes. They're certainly more cookie cutter, like I guess legitimately, because they are kind of pre-cut.
I've seen that with the stream of cement going back and forth.
Yeah,
building the house.
it's about 30,000, 20,000, I think, to do, or that's what they're reselling them at. I'm not for sure what the cost is. The labor is very minimal because you have an architect outline the exact house, and you've got a machine that just is doing
machine
it for
just
you.
does
It's like
it.
screen printing. It moves on its own. It is. Yeah, they're doing houses. They're doing medical equipment, which is huge.
Yeah, you hope that
it's
all
the
this
future, man.
technology helps maybe more on the medical side.
Yeah, so we can live long enough to enjoy them.
I'm not so worried about hovering.
So they're trying to make like heart stents and things like that, to
Oh,
where it
it's
makes it
working
a
on
little
that
bit
stuff,
easier.
too.
Yeah.
Self-driving cars require you to perform an action like adjust the volume on the radio or change the temperature on the climate control at certain time intervals to make sure you are still awake and alert.
Yeah, I would think there'd have to be something that they don't want you to go 10 or 12 minutes
No,
without.
but that's now. That's for now.
Yeah, when it becomes
Who
the norm.
knows? Yeah, who knows?
Right. And, and like Deke said, the more they have, the better they get. A lot of compliments coming to Jay, and I just want to read a couple before we
Jay's
get
the best.
just a couple, Jay. Great to hear. Great to see Jay's beautiful face this morning. XOXO. That's from One Hit Pete. Someone else said, "God, I love having Jay on the show."
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people are. I've seen a couple of those across.
That's good.
across today.
We'll let Senior know.
All right. Before we get to the Design Air heating and cooling email today, as Doug said, a lot of people smarter than us are doing a lot of things better. So if you're looking to change up your career, maybe Centric is the right idea for you.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. Cybersecurity is the most exciting career in technology and one of the most in demand. Centric can train you for a career in cybersecurity, and they can do it in just 4 months. Centric's hands-on program teaches you the actual job skills you need to get started. No history, no biology, just technology. That's how they do it in just 4 months. Even if you have no IT, you can do it online, or you can do it in person. You can do it in the evenings, or you can do it during the day, whichever works best for you. If you're interested in a career in cybersecurity, call Patrick Neal and it's Centric Training today. They'll walk you through Centric's cutting-edge program and show you everything Centric does to help get you started in your new IT career. Call 314-450-4714 or go to centric.com/STL. That's CNTRIQ.com/STL. Cybersecurity is a problem for every business in St. Louis. You can be part of the solution.
I've actually now, for the first time in the YouTube chat, I've seen someone who thinks Plowsy can get this done. Plowsy's got this. All 30. I'm calling it. That's from Tiger Dank.
I do want people to let their families know,
I don't know, families.
Their grandmother, make sure she's up in the morning.
Yeah, get on YouTube, too. Watch on YouTube.
9 o'clock on the TMA STL YouTube or the app or HD2 1057.
So many ways to listen, Jay.
Absolutely. Plowsy is going to make an attempt at eating 30 White Castles in 1 hour. The feeling for the most part has been that he will not be able to get it done.
Not surprised.
But we are having some people maybe starting to go the Plowsy route.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you can hit that 15 mark at 10 minutes, then
God.
But then a lot of then
you only got 15 for 50.
Yeah.
I don't think Plowsy does 15 in the hour.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
The station will have 15 hamburgers for the staff left over.
Wow. So, do we want to set an agreed-upon over-under? Over-under of 15 and a half?
I'm going to do over that.
15 and a half is the over-under?
I think that's a good number. Again,
You'll get over 15. No, you're already locked into 20.
That's what I think.
Locked into 30.
I think over
he knows he's going to get 20.
Yeah, I think 15
19 and a half
10 is the key. I'd say let's go 18 and a half.
18 and a half is the over-under.
Okay.
I'm going to go over. I'll take the over. I think you get to 20.
No. I'm going to go over because he believes in the 20. He really does.
20 is...
I'm under.
Dougie?
I hope you do it, but I've eaten White Castle. I know you get to a certain point and you just cannot throw any more down.
It's going to hit them hard.
Well, I need to finish about 15 before that portion hits.
Yes.
You got to shove it in there before you feel it.
I think Plowsy's a different kind of specimen. I think he'll surprise us and get over 15.
Thank you. You think 20 is a good... You would go over 20.
I think you'll get to 20. Yeah. When you're pushed. I mean, when no one's pushing you, and after you've had 8, you go, okay, that's plenty.
Your stomach and heartburn can only tell you to do so many.
We'll be pushing you.
Oh, yeah.
And your ass, too, that can only...
That's what I'm really concerned
Those 3 things are going to tell you to stop.
I've seen you run out of this studio before.
Right, that's without the White Castle.
Right.
At some point in that 1 hour, we're going to hear this again. Guys, I've got to poop.
Jackson,
I'm ready. I'm ready, except I'm going to not use the same chair.
I'll use the communal bathroom. I won't do the private one.
Guys, that burger grease is basically like water-soaking hot dogs. Those sliders will slide right down to that otter colon like clockwork.
Yeah, I think the key is not to chew.
You have to chew. I can't have you choking out there.
Well, I mean,
you don't want any deaths, especially with Tim gone.
You can't eat it like a duck. You gotta chew that bad boy.
Yeah, I guess.
King Fupa says way under.
It's amazing.
Way under on the 18
which is fine.
Tiny Peepee says over.
Tiny Peepee. At least I got all the heavy hitters.
I got Peepee.
The man to the DeLorean says the old buzzard will sneak away with some chicken strips.
Who's the old buzzard? I wonder.
Can we get a before and after belly shot? It would be interesting to see how curved that happy trail gets.
I mean, the guy's rail thin. I mean, he's so single, his eyes are single file. I mean,
it'll be a battle. I would say probably the best term for it. It'll be a battle.
I do think there should be the belly pick because it's going to be altered.
Oh,
a before and after.
That's fine. I'm comfortable doing that.
Taking a mid-game recreational will actually clear up some space and plows his colon and increase the likelihood that he gets the 30 burgers.
An 8:30 recreation
But
makes
I
play.
think there's a problem with that is, what if I do the vom-com and you guys don't know it? Now I have, a complete empty chamber ready to finish off.
Right,
I don't think I can
that'd
do
be okay.
midway.
I think binging and purging, you'd be okay.
And water. You need water.
We're talking
Water
about him
heavy.
eating 30 in an hour. Joey Chestnut ate 44 chicken fingers in
5 minutes. Like, that to me is beyond crazy.
Every 6.8. I mean, it's just,
He's
just
the best
stupid.
in the world.
He's the best in the world.
Yeah, it has been for years.
I'm sure there's some guy named Augustus in Germany that could run
probably.
him. If we could find him and train him.
Some big Russian bear.
Just shoving. Yeah.
Now, you think Joey Chestnut's gotten rich out of all this?
I guarantee you.
Yeah, 10 million.
He's got
He's done better than all of us.
I don't know. What endorsements does he have? Does he have a bunch?
I'm sure he's got Nathan's as being one, where he wins the thing every year.
Oh, I'm sure he's got a few.
Look up, Jackson, look up Joey Chestnut net worth.
I'm looking it up
I'm
right now.
having trouble with my
I got it.
It usually says everybody 2 million.
It's 2.5.
Joey Chestnut, 2.5 million for eating stuff.
I'm looking to see if they have like a revenue back, like
A revenue stream.
the winner of the content gets 10,000, and he's won.
He's won it 15 times.
Right, so like there's a good
150.
amount. Second gets 5,000, and then I guess endorsement.
But
yeah.
that's just one time a year.
Yeah, but if you win it
He's got to be
15
making.
times,
He's got to be doing something else.
He's got to be doing. Yeah, he's got to.
Well, he's done 2 this year. He did the hot dog eating contest, and he just did the chicken strip thing.
I mean, what do you think they paid him in Vegas to come out there and do that? I mean, they had to pay him 10 times and easy.
50 grand, probably.
Yeah.
You think 50 grand for Joey Chestnut to come to Vegas?
they gave him a residency in Vegas.
He's playing the chicken place every day.
Yeah, all you can eat chicken.
Morning, afternoon, and evening shows.
All right, before we get here to the Designer Heating and Cooling email today, I just want to mention again, thank you so much to the listeners for raising money for Ryan Kelly and the Keep Climbing Foundation yesterday.
I saw that yesterday.
The number, they raised over $5,000. That was the number, over $5,000 for Ryan Kelly and his foundation. The goal was $2,500. Double it. I mean, that's just so awesome. That's a testament to our listeners, and we appreciate everyone who listens and donated. That's so awesome. It's such a great cause. Thank you to Ryan for doing all of this. He is the best. So thank you again to our listeners. Over $5,000 raised yesterday for Ryan Kelly's Keep Climbing Foundation. All right, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. 5 a.m. this very morning. B&B Quick Stop. Out comes walking some pretty boys wearing a blue hat and blue shirt. If Delta Burke and Victor Mature had a son, he would be it. As he finished his ciggies, his ride arrived. Another pretty boy driving a convertible LeBaron. Blue Oxford in the forehead for days.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he pulls out the old military commander trick. Drop and give me 20. Well, I'm an orders follower, so I did. And by 20, I mean, nope.
Nope.
Who was it?
That's Ben Edelman?
Ben Itaman has been suspended a period of 2 days' time. His name right now is going to the STLTaxLawyer.com suspension log. Mark Milton is your tax guy. You got any problem with the godforsaken tax man? You get a hold of Mark Milton, he'll get you taken care of.
Milty's the
Thank you,
best.
Milty.
So let me get this straight. The fats from the ballpark catch hell from some 120-pound twink about helmet nachos, but then decided it'd be great to go full Kobayashi on 30 sliders from White Castle. The last time I did that, about halfway through, my boyfriend's boyfriend ended up with a steamy load on those nippies. I ain't no quitter. I whipped out that Dijon and mopped up the other half of those whiteys and had liquid bowel movements for the next month. Love, peace, and chicken grease. That's from Dr. Death.
That's Dr. Death.
Dr. Death.
Guys, breaking news out of Virginia. I'm live at the Appomattox Courthouse, and multiple sources have confirmed to me that the North has indeed won the Civil War. Still to be seen if this will affect things here in the U.S. We're still waiting a comment from both Ulysses S. Grant and Robert E. Lee. I'm Sal Palantonio, ESPN.
Bobby Lee's not going to have much to say.
If young Pop don't trust you, I'm going to shoot you. That's Blueberry Pop.
What was his email?
If young Pop Pop don't trust you, I'm going to shoot you. That's from Blueberry Pop Pop.
Blueberry Pop Pop.
Congratulations, Taxi Squad. Well above expectations. I think Jackson might be the Jeremy Lin of this squad. This boy is a talent. He didn't miss a shot and had 0 turnovers. Each player scored 25 points. Excellent ball distribution. Plowsy was spectacular with his post-COVID passion. Plow take. There are no good movies or comedians. I think we can all agree. The following comedians suck. Chris Rock, Ricky Gervais, Jerry Seinfeld, Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K., and Bill Burr. Surprisingly,
These are guys who made their fame 30 years ago, is my point.
Surprisingly, entertaining show today, boys. That's from...
Who's it from?
Anel Sex.
Yeah.
Anel Six.
There you go.
She's new.
Good morning, radio guys. I'm a total lemming. Tim tells me to buy something, my credit card is charged almost immediately. I want to talk about Manscaped. I bought the performance package, and everything Plazzi says is true. As a mud monster, I was full of matted tufts, and now I'm smooth as a porpoise, and Miss Mud Monster loves it. The boxers are the most comfortable I've ever worn. I even purchased additional pairs. And herein lies me problem. There is no hole in front of said underpant for the wiener to poke through.
That is true.
Because of this, every time I have to use the urinal at work, I have to drop trowel all the way to the ankles.
No, you don't.
Let me just say.
You're right, Doug. You don't have to.
Let me just say that the reactions are mixed.
The reactions are mixed at work.
A gentleman who worked down in legal walked in the other day, laughed, dropped his pant to his ankle, and just went with it. His name isn't just a clever pun. His tallywhacker is beautiful. Dave from compliance wasn't as happy, and now I'm meeting with HR today at 11. Yeah. Anyways, Manscaped equals good. Support the sponsors, everyone. Love the great work lately, boys. Stay cute. Sincerely, the Murphy Mud Monster, who's supposed to have a turd docking sesh with Alexander from operations at 11, but now is a meeting with HR because Dave saw my stink wrinkle.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a middle ground, just because it doesn't have a hole, you don't have to go to the ankle.
Well, what did he say? Murphy Mud Sock? Was that
Murphy Mud Monster.
Mud Monster.
Mm.
He's new.
Great to have Plazzi back in studio to spit hot takes like comedians have never been worse than they are today. The Waterboy was the peak of film comedy, and Disney is ruining the Star Wars franchise with the money grab, making all Star Wars content available for $7.99 a month. I know a lot about American history, and it's great. So Doug concedes he lost in Vietnam and Afghanistan, was shocking at the Iraq War as a W, and Iggy thought the Civil War was in the 1880s and Pearl Harbor happened on June 18th, 1942. Before Jennings' heads explodes, he quickly changed the subject back to Plazzi attempting to eat 30 White Castles on the same day he's driving to Montana. Again, I am enjoying the show. That's from the great Buck Swope.
Buck!
Buck!
I'm not a history buff.
That's evident.
And finally, it's well documented that Katie Couric, Julie Bowen, Suzanne Summers, and Peter Gammons have the nicest feet in the game. But let me ask you a real brain buster. If you could watch the 77-year-old Peter Gammons give a foot massage to anyone in the world, who would it be? If you answered anything other than Tim Kirkchin, you need help, buddy. Those two have a palpable sexual tension that goes back decades. Baseball Tonight's success was predicated on the fact that most of the viewing audience tuned in to hoping to see Gammons and Kirkchin get after it. I can picture Gammons rubbing down Tim's tiny little foot while he giggles. The newly inducted Hall of Famer is probably very ticklish, but it would be easy to pin him down because he's got such a twinkish little body. Don't believe me? Just spend 5 minutes on WikiFeet and you'll see that Kirkchin's feet are flawless. Boy, I would give anything to be a fly on a tank lid overlooking that Cooperstown diaper changing station to see Peter Gammons caress Tim Kirkchin's delicate tootsies, much like Jay Jr. did with Jewel at TMA Live. You know Gammons would pop a pinky toe in his mouth in the name of journalism. Think about it for a while. It's from the JV golf coach.
Oh. JV golf coach.
That's
what
where
we
you heard
got.
about
Design air heating cooling all day.
MLB trades in the early 2000s, it was Kirkchin and Gammons. It was like the two.
And were you thinking the whole time that they should give each other foot massages?
No, but looking back, they did have a good rapport. So you never know.
Something was going on.
Yeah, you just never know.
Yeah, all right.
Doug, nice foot.
Doug, kick us off.
Well, there were some vile ones there, fellas. There weren't a whole lot of clean ones that are normally eligible. And because there were so many vile ones, I'm going to have to pick one that was vile. So I'll go for the Murphy Mud Monster.
What was the guy's name? Pop Baby?
Blueberry Pop. If young Pop Pops don't trust you, I'm going to shoot you.
I mean, it was tough, but I'm going to go JV golf coach.
Yeah, it's none of them are really that good.
Don't be mean to the listener.
No, I'm just being honest. And to be honest with you, I wasn't going to vote for any of them until the JV golf coach. But I kind of dig Peter Gammons and Tim Kirchin getting on with their piggies. So I'm going to go JV golf coach.
Dang, nabbit,
I
Lucas.
thought Anel Sex really got screwed.
I know.
Did Jay vote?
Yeah, I voted for I was
JV?
going to vote Pop just for no reason, and then
I thought you voted for JV golf.
I did. I backed it up with JV golf coach.
Right.
Okay, so JV golf coach is 1. That means he is tied at the top of the leaderboard. Now,
Is it over tomorrow?
Tomorrow is the last day of the month.
It is.
It is going to be July 29th tomorrow. We won't be back until, August 2nd?
12th.
First, right? Monday at the
We're
first.
here we're here Monday. You're not here Monday.
No, I'm gone.
Yeah.
No.
But so tomorrow, I guess we got a 2-man showdown with Shrimply Pipples and the JV golf coach.
The showdown tomorrow, the 30 White Castle.
Yeah. This 9 o'clock hour, the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour tomorrow is going to be up for snatch grab.
And if any moms want to come by in the 8 o'clock hour and just say hi, come on by.
Oh, really? You're inviting them?
Well, yeah. Just like.
Will you work over their feet?
If they want them done.
All right. That's an open invitation.
We're not going to promote it, but you know.
Right. All right. Well, yeah, tomorrow's going to be outstanding.
You got anybody you want to come in the 7 o'clock hour?
I don't know about an open invitation.
All right.
Yeah, he didn't do well with the last open.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? All right. Well,
we
Jay,
made it. We made it.
We did. Jay, thanks so much for being in. Can't wait to talk over you tomorrow. Plowsy, it is so good to have you back. And one last time, thank you so much to all of the listeners and Ryan Kelly for donating all that money. That is so awesome. That's what we do this show for, is to help out great causes like Keep Climbing Foundation, Friends of Kids with Cancer, Braves for Bipolar, all the charities we work with. So thank you so much to all of the listeners for donating. It means a lot to us. I know it means a lot to Ryan. And we are rooting for Ryan to go climb that mountain. It's going to be awesome. So thank you again to all of the listeners who donated. That's going to shut it down for us, boys. That's going to close out the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. We'll be back tomorrow, 7:07. Pepper and Jeannie following this show. Me, Plowsy, and Iggs will be on there. Randy and Michelle will be taking over Balloon Party for the hour on 101 ESPN. So that's going to shut it down. So for Doug, for Iggy, for Jay, for Plowsy, for Tim, who's on vacation, and I'm Action Jackson, this has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 HD2 FM, live from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile